Hey, what's going on, everyone? Back for more fun. YouTube and chill. So I'm not dressed for YouTube and chill. Let's get this right. I forgot. This is YouTube and chill. Uh-oh. What's going on, everyone? The YouTube and chill time. We're going to chill. We're going to talk about something important. YouTube and chill. Good afternoon to everyone. And we're going to chill on YouTube, where we talk about some of the most important and most intimate things in life. And we are going to chill YouTube style. It's Friday's YouTube and chill time. How's everyone? Am I coming through loud and clear? I guess you all see the topic for today. And this is a topic that would interest us all. Everyone benefits from a good lover, right? Time to chill, YouTube style, YouTube and chill. What have we got here? See if I can get some company here. Or am I doing this all by myself? Like the video when you come in, we are going to chill, YouTube style. It's Friday. It's time to chill. We're going to talk about sex. I'm dressed for the occasion. How is everyone this afternoon? Friday. We have little clouds here in Jersey. And I won't be talking about sex by myself, but I want to talk about how to be a great lover, not just a lover, a great lover. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Some people say sex is the most important part of a relationship, and others will debate and argue that. But here's what none of us can deny: sex is extremely important in a relationship. And do all of us put in the kind of effort and do we put in the effort and the education that's required to engage in something that potentially is the most important part of a relationship? How to be a great lover. And sex, yes, we have sex for procreation. We make children. That makes sex something that's very important, right? Perhaps sex is the most important part of human existence, because if someone didn't have sex, I wouldn't be here, and neither would you. You wouldn't be listening. And speaking of sex, everyone who's listening, and even the people who are responsible for making this happen, like the people who made the computer and all the cables and internet service, we're all champions because we're the ones who made it. I mean, the odds of being born out of the millions of sperm, we're the ones who won. We won. Everyone here won. We got here. So technically, making it a sperm into that egg is a very rare event. It's not something most people do. So the fact that we're all here, we were the champions for sure. So now we're going to talk about, now that we're here and we are the champions, I want to talk about being a champion in bed. Smack her on the ass. Yeah, that works really well with a lot of women. Well, I'm waiting for Letitia to come on in here. I mean, what's the point of me? That's like masturbation, mental masturbation. If I'm doing this alone, I've got to have her in here at some point. So I'm kind of waiting for her. So like the video when you come in, share this one, share it, like it, so that YouTube can catch us on the algorithms. Share the video and get some more people. We're going to have an orgy today. We're going to have some great sex. We're going to have a YouTube and chill orgy. So invite some other people into it. Like it, share it, comment. I have my links for Cash App and PayPal. Your support is always appreciated. You guys yesterday were very generous, so thank you for that. Definitely appreciate it. You guys have been great supporters of mine, so always love it. Always want to come up with some content, and I've called Fridays YouTube and Chill. This is the time we get ready for the weekend and we chill. So sex being the most important thing, and you don't have to wait for the weekend for that. So I've found a few articles that talk about being a good lover. I want to lay that out for you, and pun intended, we're going to lay out some good information, and then we're going to do like we always do, some back and forth. So how you feeling today, PJ? Thanks for joining. YouTube and orgy. Basically. Yes, a YouTube orgy. That is living good. That's living life in the right lane. No question, no doubt. So, I've seen some interesting information, how to be a good lover. You probably, a lot of women read these things from Cosmopolitan magazine, and they have all kinds of ideas about how to be a good lover. Some of these things can make you laugh, and a lot of what you see is coming from a woman's perspective. And I find that interesting that you have so many women defining what it means to be a good lover. It's almost like men don't get invited to the party. So I wanted to create my own party about being a good lover. So I like the men and women to come in on this one and let us all enjoy it. Like you said, a YouTube orgy. YouTube and orgy. Everyone gets something. We're all going to get something out of this today. A monologue on what? On great sex. Monologue on what? So I have an interesting article, 10 qualities of a good lover. And as I said, it's written by a woman. She's written a book called The Fantasy of Surrender, which actually I think is a good idea for a woman to write about the fantasy of surrender, because that's a good position for a woman to be in, is to surrender. A monologue. Hey, SW, good to see you in here. Yeah, I'd like to hear you guys, your feedback from you guys also on what you call a good lover. We all have a perspective on that. We all have experience with that. Unlikely we're going to have many virgins passing through here, but, you know, we just might. That happens. And even they can benefit from this. So, yeah, for a little bit, a monologue, I'm waiting for my mistress of YouTube and Chill, the YouTube and Chill mistress, to come in. She's a little late. She's not feeling so great today. So like the video, guys, as you come in, share it so we can have a YouTube orgy, as PJ has so eloquently put. Waiting for my hookup. Right. And she's late. I am waiting for my hookup. She just worked out at the gym. So, you know, and sex after working out in the gym is pretty good. Like all your blood is flowing and you've got a lot of strength. Actually, that's a good time to have sex, is after you worked out. You worked out in the gym or even running. I used to race on bicycles. I rode 100 miles one day in 4 hours and some change. And I walked through the door and I was living with someone, and I couldn't wait to have sex with her after riding 100 miles. PJ, polishing them up, huh? So, I mean, 100 miles, that's a little extreme. I pushed it that day, but yeah. Interesting that the woman who I was living with, she looked at that as bragging rights. So it's interesting how even women look at sex and in their lover. It seems like women do like having the ability to brag about their lover. I think that must turn them on to know that they have a good lover, because that woman I was living with, when she heard about other women talking about their man, she was like, my man can ride 100 miles on a bike and come home and rip my clothes off. So yes. So you guys ready for me to bring in the mistress of YouTube and Chill? You all ready for that? Or you guys just want to see me? You're all ready for the YouTube and Chill mistress to come in and shine? I think she will brighten up the whole picture, the scene here. She will light it up, light up the sky, your lights. Let's get a couple of more likes in there, guys. You ready for action? You're ready, PJ, huh? So how do we bring her in, huh? Do we want to bring her in and let the sun shine in? Hey, Rudy, what's going on? I believe it or not, Rudy, I'm talking about sex, how to be a great lover. What's up, man? So what do we have? There we go. YouTube and Chill is never alone. I always have. This is my. Are you my side chick here? Because we're right side by side like that, right?
Absolutely not. No.
Not the side chick. Okay. You're by my side right there, right? Is that the same thing or no?
I'll be right by your side, but I will never be a side chick.
Okay, got it. Not a side chick. You guys heard that first, right? She's not side chick material. Nice.
Oh,
How you doing today?
I am a bit under the weather,
That's
but
good.
I'm here.
I see. Thank you for joining. And you look lovely as always. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, you only gave me like 15 minutes.
Well, isn't that in your world, is that considered a quickie?
That is, no, that's,
No,
no, a quickie is 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
That's a
So
quickie.
see, I gave you plenty of time. I gave you plenty. 15
Yeah,
minutes. You should
you
be happy.
did. You did.
Huh?
You did, but when it comes to a woman, a lady getting herself together, we require much more time than 15 minutes.
Oh. Well, we're here to talk about sex. Do you need more than 15 minutes to get ready for that?
No, I don't. I come ready. I stay ready.
Was that a pun intended?
That is the truth.
You said you come ready.
I come ready.
So, you know what we're talking about today.
How to be a great lover. Did you set it off? Did you get them started? Did you get them warmed up yet?
No, they don't get off on me. They needed you.
Oh,
All they kept doing is asking me about you.
oh, okay. Well, I'm here. Let the good times roll.
So we're gonna roll, huh? You like that, huh? That sounds like a king size bed. What's going on, country boy?
Yeah, rolling all around it. Yes.
PJ said he only needs a woman to take her time when she's brushing her teeth.
Oh my goodness.
So I can't put too much pressure on you today, huh?
No, you got to be gentle. Be careful.
Really?
Yes.
That's that's interesting. So that's a perfect segue into our topic. So how does that work? So I'm in a kind of frisky, aggressive, assertive, playful mood, and you're in a gentle mood. If I'm going to be a great lover, I've got to now navigate that. What do you think of that?
I don't listen. You're gonna have to learn to be a great lover by yourself during them times. Like me, I would not tell my husband no, I'm not feeling well, but I'm not gonna be a participant. I'm like,
Right. But I mean, as a man, part of our pleasure is pleasing our woman, right? So I may feel aggressive and frisky and playful, and you may be in a completely different mood. Like you just went through something in your day, and you won't tell me no, except I now need to navigate that. I've got I'm feeling one way, and you're feeling more relaxed and calm and gentle. And if I'm going to get off by pleasing you, I now need to shift gears. Or some guys are just going to be like, well, I don't care. You just lay there and I'll do my thing. Yeah, like a cowboy. And he's.
I mean, but if you're trying to get off with a woman who is not feeling well, the mood is just not there for her. Is it really about her or is it really about you? Because if she's not feeling well and you want to have sex, it's not about her because she's not in the mood. So you're gonna have to basically be a good lover for yourself so you can have some bragging rights and feel like you did something. And if you still can make her come while she's sick, then I guess you can say you were a great lover.
Okay. So to do that, you're going to have to accommodate her and kind of meet her where she is, maybe.
Yes. And that's part of being a great lover. Also, that's you know she's not feeling well, so you're gonna have to accommodate her where she is. Like, okay, you're not gonna be hanging from the chandelier, ceiling fans this time. She's probably going to just lay there, and so more like on her side with her leg lifted is, and then not forceful thrust, but you're gonna have to take it slow and take your time and slow down the pace.
PJ said, "Not so for the caveman."
Mhm. Yeah, the caveman just gonna be like, lay, just flip over, woman.
Be man, you woman.
Just flip over.
No, I flip man, flip woman.
Well, you then flip her over. Then flip her over like a pancake. Stuff her with a sausage. There you go.
But if he did that, does that make him a good lover though? If she's in a very different mood, she's more calm and relaxed.
I think that will. I think she would appreciate that.
Being flipped. Wait.
Oh, no. Being flipped. If she's nauseous, not feeling well, no, flipping her is not a good thing. Gently rolling her over, asking her to roll over on her side, nudging her. So she's not gonna really care but the thing about it is most women in that situation not feeling well, they're not gonna want to have sex. So you might as well just X that plan altogether.
Well, if we reverse that, if we flip it and the man is not feeling well, there are women who will be like, hey, I'm in a mood. You need to step up, get it rolling. Let's get the show on the road.
Yeah, and I'm one of those women because I don't believe in telling no. So if I'm not going to tell
you, if the man is not feeling well and the woman is to reverse it.
Right. What I'm saying is I don't believe in telling partners no when it comes to sex. So if I'm not going to tell you no, I have an expectation that you are not telling me no. So if you're sick, I'm just of the mind like I don't need you to do anything. Just get it up.
You have to put it out. You have to put out, then, is what you're saying. Sick or not sick, put out.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, PJ said you can only not be in the mood if you are hungry, depressed, or dead. I think the only time you can't be in the mood is when you're dead. But that's for people who have exceptionally high sex drives. For people who have average to low sex drives, they're just not going to be in the mood, and there's nothing you can do to get them in the mood. They have to be in the mood.
Yeah, I've been in that exact situation where the woman told me don't self-diagnose yourself, but I felt like maybe I had pneumonia. The way my breathing, coughing, sweating, I was feeling horrible, and she was like, "Yeah, that's your problem, not mine." So. She didn't care. She wanted sex. Like that's
listen. Okay, if you can't get it up, then your tongue, your mouth still works.
That's not. She wanted. She wanted performance. She's like. It's like if you buy a Ferrari, you don't want to hear that your Ferrari is having problems. You want that sucker to perform when you step on the gas.
That's true. So what happened? Did you or didn't you?
I stepped up and I performed.
Did you puke afterwards?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Wait, so how did you feel afterwards?
Still the same. I live to tell a story. I have a story to tell now.
At least make you soup afterwards. Like, geez, like, oh, okay, babe, you did such a great job. Here's some soup. Hope you feel better.
No, the reward from a woman if you do a great job is she wants more.
That's true. Oh, so she was like, you ready for round 2?
You know how that goes. You're a woman. So, go ahead.
I'm more sensitive to my partner's needs, so I'm I would still want to have sex, but I'm going to feed you afterwards. You got to get your energy back up. Like I just depleted. You're sick, so your energy is already depleted, and I just depleted even more. So you got to get it back up. So I'm gonna feed you some soup. because you're not feeling well.
Yeah, I probably would need more than soup, but
Well, you're not going to be able to keep a sandwich down or something. You need soup and Gatorade. That's what I give you.
protein drink. Yeah, like my a good.
That's going to be too heavy on your stomach.
Okay, I don't think so. You have to replace those proteins.
You drinking your protein shakes after while feeling sick like that and after having sex.
Yeah, you have to replenish what you've just
Okay.
expended. You just put out.
Okay.
So uh, Chrissy Cal, thanks for joining. We're talking about sex and how to be a great lover. So I wanted to read an interesting article, and a lot of these articles, I was saying that they're written by women, so we're often getting a woman's perspective of what it means to be a good lover. And I perhaps the challenge with that is a lot of women then expect a man to almost be like he's feminine because they're getting all their advice from a woman on what it means to be a good lover. So I want to read parts of these articles, and then I'm going to talk from a man's perspective, and you'll talk from a woman's perspective about being a good lover.
Okay.
So there's a woman written by Judy Orloff, 10 Qualities of a Good Lover. And she wrote a book. She said, in my book, Ecstasy of Surrender. See, now I do like that because it sounds like she's telling women right up front, your job is to surrender. But I think some women take that as the man should surrender also, will be vulnerable. But that's not real. Women really don't want vulnerability from a man. But let me just read the article. In my book, The Ecstasy of Surrender, I discuss how to manifest your full sexual power, even if you're out of touch with it now. First, you must learn to completely inhibit your body and the moment. Interesting. Maybe that's a typo. If not now, when? Holding back, fixating on performance, or letting your mind chatter and drift is the end of passion. I think women should hear that. That's in the first paragraph. Holding back, fixating on performance, or letting your mind chatter and drift is the end of passion. And I think that's a challenge for a lot of women. I think a lot of women do exactly that.
I would agree.
Huh?
I would agree.
And then then the most they do is lay there and say, well, just do your thing.
I think the reason why that is because a lot of women don't allow themselves to build up the intimacy. Well, men and women don't allow the intimacy to build up. They don't focus on intimacy, and vulnerability brings about intimacy. Too many people are going on first dates, first, second, third dates, not really knowing a person and jumping right into sex. And once you do that, you just start going with emotions. A woman needs to really be able to get in tune not only with her body, but with her partner in order for her to open up and be vulnerable during sex. And I just think a lot of people aren't giving themselves that time to do so.
And there are probably some exceptions where people did let that happen and they actually married. You hear these stories where they had sex on the first date and they married, and 30 years later they are still together. They just don't talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they have. I'm not saying that. Well, I would never have sex on the first date. I'm just saying that people are just not giving themselves that time to really build up to sex.
Well, I'm supporting what you're saying, and so there are two ways. Maybe it was a first date, except they may have had several phone conversations before the date, right? So,
Right.
So they had developed intimacy. And on the other hand, it could have been a first date and they didn't spend a lot of time on the phone with the woman, she wasn't protecting herself against the man. So she allowed herself to feel comfortable and trust, and it happened, and the man took care of her. and then I, you know, from a mental protection
Listen, women will have sex because we know that's what men want, and we want you. And even though she's not ready, she'll force herself to be ready. That's where the lack of intimacy comes in.
Well, and PJ said something important. Women are thinking too much of resources compared to men who are thinking of sex. Hence, men always enjoy it.
Yeah. Women are thinking of the future. Women are in their head thinking, does he like me? Does he want me? Is there another woman? Can I trust him? Is he going to hurt me? And so they're not building up that intimacy during the course of getting to know you. Like, even you can even be talking on the phone for what, couple
2 months,
2 months,
right?
and you're still not building intimacy, because are you discussing sex? Are you comfortable? If you're not having conversations about sex, or she's holding back and she's not feeling like she can freely be herself during those discussions, or she's not open to having such discussions, by the time you have your first date, she's already resolved in her head that, okay, I am going to have sex with him because I like him. And but the intimacy is not there. Like, intimacy is something that a lot of people do not focus on. That's what makes you an exceptional lover. Not just a good lover, not just a great lover, but an exceptional lover, that where just the mere thought of you makes her want to come.
So what you're talking about is how a woman can be in her head, and that's the last sentence of that paragraph. It's vital to get out of your head and into your bliss.
Correct.
She says, what is sexual power? I define it as proudly claiming your erotic self and mindfully channeling sexual energy. You never use it to hurt, manipulate, smother, make conquest, or get addicted to the ego trip of sensual pleasure at the expense of others. Edgio, hey Edward, how you doing? Thanks for joining, man. Talking about sex, how to be a great lover. And I'm reading an article about exactly that, 10 qualities of a good lover. She says that, you know, thinking sex for manipulation or smother this has bad karma, nor do you allow others harm and disrespect you. Sexual power is not just who you are in bed, though that's an aspect of it. You also make electric linkages to your bodies, to spirit, to a lover, to the universe. It's a turn on when sexual power is blended with spiritual power. Too many of us in our heady, frantic world lack the rich experience of having a primal connection with someone. Sexuality can offer us this satisfaction you can never get from your intellect alone. As you open to both sex and spirit, whether you're single or part of a couple, you'll be a vessel of erotic flow, enjoying pleasure without insecurities and inhibitions. So, you know, with that, and just before I get into what the 10 qualities are, what she's talking about is even before you get into the bed.
Correct.
And that's kind of what you were talking about, the intimacy. And I was saying that there are some women who can allow the intimacy to happen because she's not worried about protecting herself against the guy. And the guy steps up and makes her feel protected. He doesn't do anything to leave her feeling violated. Like, he feels that she's allowed herself to be vulnerable. And even though sex happens on a first date, part of his protection is to not judge her for that.
Correct.
And here in the article, this is a key aspect of sexual power is emotional intimacy, an instinctive desire to bond to a lover, to feel comfort, to be known. This makes a difference between pure physical sex and lovemaking. Emotional intimacy comes from affection, from sharing feelings, from being vulnerable. By caring, you reinforce each other's attractiveness and make each other feel special. As friends and lovers, you are fundamentally there for each other, which creates trust. You see each other as real people, good and the bad, not some idealized version. When conflict, anger, or hurt feelings arise, you're committed to working them through. And that's important, right? So all of that's kind of the background is what she's saying. But it's good that this is from a woman, but it's interesting to see how things like this are expressed from a man, and I think we don't see that enough. She goes on to say, what makes a good lover? There's an electric chemistry between couples that is unique to them. Smell, voice, touch, and kissing style all figure in. Technical skills and good hygiene are also important, but beyond these, here are some of the characteristics to look for. The 10 are this: you're a willing learner, you're playful and passionate. That's 2. Number 3 is you make your partner feel sexy. Number 4 is you're confident, not afraid to be vulnerable. 5, you're adventurous and willing to experiment. 6, you communicate your needs and listen to your partner. 7 is you make time and don't rush. Number 8, you enjoy giving pleasure as much as you enjoy receiving it. Number 9, you're supportive, not judgmental. And 10, you're fully present in the moment with good eye contact and can let go. What do you think of that?
I think the most important ones were 3 and 9. Making your partner feel sexy.
Okay.
And what was the exact wording of number 9?
You're supportive, not judgmental.
Yes. So number 3 is very important to women because we need to know that the guy is truly into us. Not just a part of us, not just a body part, but truly into us. He truly desires us. So, complimenting words, letting her know that you find her, verbally speaking, that you find her highly attractive, and that you desire her. And then number 9, being supportive. I mean, if she wants to try something, you'd be surprised how many people are not spontaneous and they're just weirded out by just what I would consider normal stuff. So if she wants to dress you up in a bunny rabbit costume, so
yes, we had that conversation. A bunny rabbit. Yes.
If she wants to dress you up in a bunny rabbit costume and have her way with you, then go ahead, have at it.
For me, that doesn't seem like sex. That's like a circus act.
Well, see, there you go.
And that's judgmental. I understand, but that doesn't occur for me as intimacy.
I get it, but it's gotta let the judgments go. Don't knock it till you try it.
I understand, but it's also she said, see, I wouldn't feel sexy in that.
But she's telling you you're sexy and she finds you very sexy.
I got it.
So a lot of people don't feel sexy doing a lot of things. I wouldn't feel sexy squirting. So, but
your body naturally does it. You don't have a choice in that.
Yeah, you do have a choice.
Well, yes, you can fight it, and that's when you're being inhibited instead of vulnerable. Well, and that's why number 4 is not afraid to be vulnerable.
Okay, but you've already knocked out number 9 with the judgment. So she can't even be. I get what you're saying. You're saying you don't feel sexy in a bunny rabbit costume, but that's inhibiting your partner. So that's like me not feeling comfortable with squirting because I feel like I'm pissing. And yet because a guy feels like that is very, very attractive and highly arousing, that a woman should just let go, but it's not something she'll feel comfortable. Some women don't feel comfortable doing that. So it's just you not wanting to put on a bunny suit. You just don't feel comfortable doing it.
Well, no, it's not. It's not a natural part of my existence. Squirting is a natural part of my existence.
Semantic. It is semantic.
It's look, as a man, I caused your body to do something it's designed to do, and it gives you great pleasure.
I get that, but it's still semantics for the simple fact you're not a woman, so you will never understand how uncomfortable some of us can feel with that,
What
right?
it's always uncomfortable in the beginning. Once you get past that, it's piece of cake.
Yeah, no. Then again, you're not a woman,
You
so
have to go through it a few times. Sure.
yeah, okay. Listen,
I held seminars for that.
I understand that. Nothing you say is gonna get me to change my. I'm pretty sure you've held some personal seminars, but nothing you say is gonna get me to change my mind on that. The fact is, I feel uncomfortable because it feels like I'm pissing. So I get it. So people are going to naturally come to the bedroom with they're
Hey,
going
hey,
to
you gotta handle that noise. You can't be bringing that noise to the YouTube and chill orgy.
wait, there's no orgy here, it's just you and I.
No, PJ is joining us, and we've got some others in here. So,
Oh, they're voyeurs. It's not an orgy. They're
oh,
just
they're just voyeur.
yeah.
Okay, that's voyeurism. Okay, all right. Can't touch PJ.
He said, I will not let a woman squirt on my bed. She must warn me beforehand so we take sex to the shower room. PJ, yeah, that situation is going to be a, oh my God, boop. And then it's happening. There is no way she's going to be able to like warn you so you can pick her up and then take her to the shower room. And then you're going to ruin her orgasm. By then it's over.
He said a mental orgy.
No, no, don't be no.
Well, he said if women want to be desired, they must have the full package. That is not just body, but must have good character too, which is I talked about yesterday. That
Right. So if you want all that intimacy, you want vulnerability, then you that openness, then you have to choose a man has to choose a woman that he sees as the full package. Because if you're just choosing women based off of you want to have sex with them, you want to have sex, you want to have sex with them, a pump and dump, you're not getting all that. So choose a woman that you fully desire.
so what about? And I don't see. She has some more, but the one word I haven't heard her put is freedom. I see vulnerability, no judgment.
I think no judgment is part of freedom. That's what I think that is.
Yeah, it can, no judgment will open the door for freedom.
Right.
What I'm saying is, if you bring free, see, you've got to bring it to the table. You can't if you're waiting for someone to open the door, that's different than someone who actually brings it.
So, Ted, would you allow a woman to be free enough to handcuff you and blindfold you?
But that has nothing. That's
Yes.
no. Listen, freedom is a state of mind. It has nothing to do with action. See, you can do this. This is where people. So
Okay, I
okay,
see what you're saying.
listen. This is where people get confused about being a good lover. People think being a freak makes them a good lover. See, you can do freaky things.
I didn't.
There's a huge distinction between doing freaky and being free and allowing anything to happen. There are two
Okay.
different worlds.
Okay. Well, I didn't say that. I didn't say anything about freaky stuff makes you a good lover. I just asked you, would you be free enough to allow a woman to tie you up and blindfold you? Because I know a lot of men have a problem with that unless they're into S&M.
Right.
Unless they're heavy into S&M, they are not comfortable with that aspect. But a lot of women are. A lot of women find that very sexy and empowering during sex.
I understand, but I don't. So help me understand how inhibiting me gives me freedom.
because then you start to feel with your other senses. You start to enjoy sex through your other senses and not just your eyes and not just your.
I know how to do that already. I don't need to be tied up to do that.
Okay, well, but you would, but your sense of smell, your sense of touch, not just with your fingers, but with other things. You'd be surprised how much feeling you get out of your toes when you can't see.
So here's part of how I enjoy sex. Part of my enjoyment of sex is an expression of my manhood, and that is.
Was that a pun?
No, listen. That's something I can't give to you, and I don't even know how to explain it to you. But part of my existence, including working out. So there's a physical power and might that I enjoy expressing. That if I now have no access to that because I'm tied up, I'm now losing part of my enjoyment. So when you talk about a sense, that's a sensory for me, is the expression of my manhood. And without that, then that's something I'm not sure how I benefit from that.
But isn't sex partly about the other person? Isn't that what the article is saying? It's for you to be.
And that's exactly what my manhood is for. It's an expression for her.
You didn't know, but you didn't make it about her. You made it about yourself. You said your expression of your manhood. It's no longer about her in that moment. That is strictly about you and how you want her to see you in that moment.
No, it's not how I want her to see me.
Okay.
It's a sensory. It's when you talk about another sense, that's a sensory that's being transmitted to the woman for her pleasure.
So you bang, bang, bang.
What? I don't understand how you got that one.
It was a joke. It was a joke, Capricorn. Lighten up.
Bang, bang. In there. What are they in there? Oh, my parents in the bathroom having sex, right?
That's expression of your manhood right there. Because that's how a lot of women would have taken that comment. Like, oh, okay, so you just want to bang a woman out. You just want to blow her back out. But that's not what you're saying.
Well, no, you know what? It depending on the woman. So for some women, that might be appropriate. For other women, it may be a slow grind. But it doesn't. That expression happens even before penetration. So it's part of the whole sex act.
So how do you get a woman prepared for sex?
I tell her my name. I'm Ted Santos.
How does that get her turned on? She doesn't.
Hey, you telling me that didn't turn you on just now? Is that what you're telling me?
How does that get a woman turned on? We're not talking about me right now.
I do like this.
What's that supposed to mean? What does that do? What? How do you set the mood is what I'm asking you.
I do this all day long. Wait till we get home.
That looks weird and creepy.
Oh, you need 2 fingers?
Oh my, that's okay. That's better. Oh my goodness. Okay, but no, seriously, how do you set the mood? Are you like outside of traditional foreplay? Is there something else that a man can do to set the mood?
So here's the way I look at it. Every day when I'm in this woman's presence, I'm setting her up for sex. Even if we don't have sex that day, I'm setting her up for sex. So I'm treating her well. I'm speaking to her well. There are things I include her in my life, right? I make her feel included in part of my life. I want to know what's going around with her, and I touch her. It's almost like it's almost like
there, huh?
No, not it's what I'm gonna say. It's almost like she's for being a calm, cooperative. I'm rewarding her constantly throughout the day for being a cooperative mate for me. So that comes in the forms of touches. It could be kisses. It could be hand holding. It could be some spontaneous kiss or touch. Like it's something that it's a way. It's a constant stimulation. And even the conversations talking, right? So it can be talking. There may be things that what some of you call a double entendre that she didn't see coming, right? And like that pun was intended right there. She didn't see it coming. It just came out of nowhere, right? And I know you ladies like when things just come out of nowhere. You like that. You like those surprises.
As long as it's hard and stiff, of course we like it coming out of nowhere.
So it's
Are you giving gifts at times, or you're just relying on your person?
I'm the greatest gift any woman could ever have.
Oh, okay. All right, Mr. Look, wait, why you sit up so seriously? Get up on the camera and why you get up on the camera like that? Like, serious. Listen, I'm still waiting for you to take the shirt off. Take the jacket off. Take the shirt off. You keep teasing me every week. Well, you keep teasing all the ladies every week. I shouldn't say.
Really?
Yes. Are you reading comments?
Yeah.
So SW says, I do not agree. Women want the sex much more than the man and will get upset if you do not make a move. They are not trying to get to know the man first. Here's the thing. It has nothing to do with us wanting sex. It's all about wanting the man to want us. And women are programmed to believe that if a man does not want to have sex with you, he does not desire you. He does not want to be with you. So women, if a man is not trying to push up on her, she's in her head thinking he must not want me.
All right, you have to do that bell is piercing.
I don't know how to turn this off. Let me see. Hold on. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
No, you can't. Okay. So you can hear me? Well, you can hear me now, but then if I turn off my volume, I can't
hear me.
Right.
Okay. Go ahead.
I've got text messages coming through to my laptop.
Okay.
My daughter and I have our iTunes account connected, and I'm getting all her iMessages.
Okay. All right. So finish what you're saying.
PJ, he said, I'm also waiting for Letitia to take her blouse off. Absolutely not, sir. This is a double standard. Yes, men can take their shirts off and be ogled and toggled and Googled, but no, a lady will never dare. But so SW was saying that women women want men to want them. And we believe that the way that a man wants us is by him wanting to have sex. So if he doesn't want to have sex, is not alluding to the fact that he wants to have sex with her. She's in her head and thinking he doesn't desire her, he doesn't want her.
But do you see the dilemma that creates for men? For the men who see, this is what SW is saying. For the men who do not make it known, right? They don't make that move. Even if she says no, it's okay because it's going to happen because she knows where he's coming from, or she shouldn't be around him anymore, right? So he's making it clear as a bell that is my intention. And the guys who don't understand that get put in the friend zone. And the woman may have really liked him, and he did nothing. He didn't make a move to let the woman know that sex, where I'm coming from, this is going to happen.
Yeah, did you just do that? Wait, and then why you stop mid-stroke? Like, what?
She said, don't move. She said, stay right there. Don't move.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
So PJ is saying he said it before and I've said it before. That's the dilemma guys get into. Even even if you make a move too soon and the woman says, "Oh my God, you're being fast," but you better believe she understands what this is about. There's no confusion now.
So yeah, so I mean, let her know, like, look, I'm into you. I'm just let you know I want to have sex with you. I understand it may not happen right now. We
No,
don't
he does this. He just pinches.
have, what are you pinching? You're in the wrong spot. Stop that.
And that's okay. That's okay if she says that. It's all right. It's okay. She knows where he's coming from.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, SW, did I say something wrong? Incorrect? She knows.
Okay, well, yeah, she knows, right? So if you're touching her, caressing her, you're
No, I'm not talking about touching her arm. I'm talking about sexual touching.
you touch her on her butt. I mean, a lot of women probably are not going to have real big breasts, so I mean, you can touch them, but most women, especially most women, like that pat on the butt, the grab on the butt.
They like
That's
stroked on their breast. You know why? Because if you stroke a woman on her breast, it stimulates the nipples, which stimulates oxytocin, and it makes her bond.
Listen, but still, if you really the way to go about it where you're not looking creepy and then she's put off and then now you're in friend zone because you touched her in the wrong way, pat her on the butt, stroke her on the butt. The butt is the way to go. When you have, like just a nice pat on the butt or a grab on the butt, if she's endowed back there, that women would enjoy that much better than you stroking her on her breast, because it's just awkward unless you're actually about to have sex in that moment.
Well, actually, so when you were asking me how I prepare a woman, that is, I'm constantly stroking those breasts, and she's bonding with me, because that is, ask any gynecologist, they know that when you want to see a woman's oxytocin levels, they stimulate her breasts. So
I know what you're saying, but
no, I'm not talking about a first date. I'm saying
I'm not even talking about a first date.
I'm answering your question about me.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that's how you do it. That's your foreplay. That's part of your foreplay.
No, but I'm saying that's happening throughout the day. We could be out.
You're having foreplay all day.
Absolutely.
Okay. All day foreplay, ladies. Ted gets it in all day. Foreplay. Okay.
I said it's a setup. I'm setting her up.
And I think a lot of men will benefit from that.
And think about that. If I spend the whole day setting her up for sex, she'd be crazy to screw that up.
Yeah. I think for me, I would prefer rubbing on my butt. That
definitely do that for sure.
Even though with my breasts are very sensitive, they are an erogenous zone. I just prefer a rubbing on my back. My butt. That just does something to me, versus you going around and rubbing on my nipples. Just like what are you doing? My butt is down.
I'm trying to get my hands down. I'm like,
you're all on my back.
Oh, wait, do that. That's a perfect. Do that again. Move like that again.
I don't even mean to do that.
Do that again. Get comfortable in your chair. There you go. All right. Good.
Oh my gosh.
PJ understands what I'm saying. Exactly.
I get it, but I'm like, you're trying to stimulate her and turn her on throughout the day, just like she's going to be doing things. So let me ask you, what can you do? What can a woman do to turn a man?
Oh, no. You asked me and I was able to answer it. This is the problem we're having in our society. Women don't want to answer that question. They want to be told what to do.
Because we seem to get it wrong.
Then let's talk about it.
Get it wrong.
Nope. Then we need to talk about what you do know.
Well, men are visual creatures, so I'm going to be, first off, from the moment I get up, sashay in front of him, and cook him his favorite breakfast, kiss him on the cheek, kiss him on the lips, good morning. I'm going to treat him well throughout the day. But I'm also going to make sure that I'm visually stimulating. So, with my hair together, my makeup together, I am dressed. Um, I'm dressed, not sitting around looking like a slob in PJs and a sweatshirt with a bonnet on my head. I'm going to be looking like I'm going to be dressed so that when he sees me, he be like, damn, she's hot. Like, man, she looks good. And then he's going to want to have sex with me.
So you intentionally arouse your man so that he wants you
Yes.
at some point in the day.
Hopefully several times throughout the day, but yeah, at some point.
So you are intentionally setting him up. So then that would mean, and we talked about this before, that women have a common practice of looking kind of frumpy at home. And then when they go out, they get all dressed up to look sexy, but they don't do that for their man at home.
Right.
You're saying that you actually do that for your man at home.
Correct.
Why? What made you, what motive? Like, how did you learn? How did you even know to do that?
Well, my ex-husband, being newly married and being taking care of a child, I had asked him why he wasn't trying to have sex. And he was like, cause he let me know, like, I don't want to have sex with you looking like that. That's not how I'm used to seeing you. It does nothing. It's like, you just don't turn me on. He didn't say it like that, but that was the gist that I got from it.
Okay.
And so I realized that, okay, I'm expecting him to do certain things to not mess up the mood for me. So I have to reciprocate that. And so, learning that men are visual and they want to be stimulated visually. And it's not enough that just because you're in love or you're together that a woman feels that, oh, I don't have to do anything. The sex is just automatic.
So let me ask you, um, do you think if you fully, and I mean 100%, not 99%, do you think if you fully cooperate with a man and his needs, his demands in the course of a day, do you think that would turn him on?
Yes.
So how do you do that?
You listen and you execute.
So what if he's asking you to he gives you a project? I need you to take care of some things today.
You listen and you execute.
What about the women who are like, yeah, but I got to do the, I got the children, they start whining about these things.
Those are women who just making excuses. I mean, I can't speak for them. I know that there are women out here who's going to do that. I would tell them that's how you end up in a marriage where the husband is not being fulfilled, and so you will eventually no longer be fulfilled.
So if a man is asking you to take care of something, are you concerned whether he has your interest? Or are you concerned about whether he is looking out for your best interest? Are you questioning it?
I'm not questioning him, because if I was questioning whether or not he had my best interest at heart, then I would not be with him to begin with, because that's something I'm going to vet for from the very beginning. So once I get into a committed relationship, I'm no longer wondering or thinking, is this person is trying to do me any harm?
So if he says, look, there's something I want you to take care of. It's going to take a little research. I need you to let me know later today what you find about XYZ, and then I need you to handle this.
Okay.
You take care of it?
Yes.
What if it conflicts with something else you have going on or you want it to do?
If it conflicts with my business, then that's something we're going to have to discuss and work out. But if it doesn't conflict with my business, then I'm going to accommodate.
Just like that?
Yes.
What do you guys think of that? Is that
like, wait a minute, are you guys getting with women who don't want to? I'm like, I'm the type of person, please your man. And I know a lot of other women who are of the same mind. Like, you please, like, You want to be pleased, so you do whatever you do. You do what it takes to please your man.
Okay. So let me say this. I'm going to answer your whole thing about bunny suits and tying me up. Um, I will not be led by a woman, and any woman asking me to do those things is attempting to lead me, and that does not work.
Oh my gosh.
No, listen. That does do not ever attempt to lead me. You can have a conversation about it with me and see where I am. And if I voluntarily want it, this is why. So now I'm going to bring this full circle. So if a man is asking you to take care of a project, and you just cooperate and handle it, you're following that man's leadership. But then if you just now turn around and get in the bedroom and attempt to lead me, you're attempting to reverse roles with me, and that doesn't work.
Okay, you said,
and essentially what that guy is going to do is put himself into a situation with that woman where she's going to start leading him in and out of the bedroom, and neither of them will be fulfilled.
Okay, I see what you're saying, because we watched, was it you who posted a video about the woman who initiated the way that her husband, the household would flow, and if she didn't do something right, he would punish her?
I don't know anything about
that video. Okay, yeah, you posted a video about a woman and her husband. She their marriage was not great.
Oh, that they had he played a dominant. He was a domineering. He had to be the domineering.
Yeah, it was like,
and punish her if she didn't do something
right, but it wasn't even him who initiated it. It was her.
She was leading him, right? She still led him. She
right.
led her, and she led him on how to lead her.
Right. Which is an oxymoron. So I get what you're saying. So, but you're saying you're willing to have a conversation about the bunny suit. But if you say no,
and that's it.
That's it. Okay. Then how can she lead you if you say no? What? She's going to tie you down and
no. I'm saying if I say that's it, don't sit there and attempt to negotiate with me or persuade me. You're not going to lead me, and that's it. And if you don't like that, then there's a guy out there who will dress up in a bunny suit and allow you to lead him, and you should be with him. Because if I need you to take care of something, I need you to take care of it, and not have you turn around and say, well, I did this for you and now you need to do this for me. That's when a woman starts to become a sexual turnoff. It's tit for tat. She gets into that.
Tit for tat, but I think a lot of times that happens because there is not reciprocity in a relationship.
We're not equal.
We're not equal, but reciprocity does not mean equality. Reciprocity means basically there has to be a balance. Like if I'm doing these things for you, right? I'm being cooperative. I'm being everything that you need.
Right.
I need that from you. So, and it does not have to be with women. It doesn't even have to be something in the bedroom. So me, if you're not being the man of the house, you're not leading me, you're not being a provider, you're not being a protector, that's the quickest way to turn me off from not wanting to have sex with you.
I got it. And if I'm handling all those things, see, that's what. So what I'm leading to is a level of vulnerability, right? So if a woman is just vulnerable in the bedroom, is she willing to do that outside of the bedroom? So if I say, hey, I need you to take care of these things. Now you may want to understand, and you say, hey, honey, I have a better way of handling that. I can get that done, and I'm going to do it like this. And I may say, well, I don't want you to do it that way. Or I may say, well, if you have a better way to do it, get it done. But I need an end result, right?
Mm-hmm. So I see what you're saying, and I think a lot of men need to look at that aspect, because a lot of women believe that they're willing to follow their husband's lead without question. And yet there are some things that if you really look at it, there are some things that she's not going to be able to follow without question. And it's just little, small, minute things, right? Because a lot of women will not have a problem cooking, cleaning, right? But if it comes to the point where it's like putting the husband before herself in the course of a day and focusing on him and his needs and his wants, she's going to have a problem with that. There's going to be some pushback. And that's going to translate into the bedroom. And it starts with I'm not in the mood tonight. I'm not in the mood tonight. I don't want to have sex. Or she if you do have sex, it's hurry up and finish.
She's doing you a favor.
Yeah.
Right. So wait, how do you say that again? So in a complicated way, this is still talking about being a good lover.
Right.
So how does that happen? Run that by me again. So how does the woman how does she just lose interest?
Usually a woman loses interest when a man is not upholding his part.
No, but just what you just said. I want you to say what you just said.
What? That not tonight or hurry up.
No, so right. How did you get there? Not tonight.
Because when you think about
I just need you to repeat what you already said.
I just did. I don't know what you want me to say.
Okay. Before you got to not tonight, she was using that as an excuse because something happened earlier.
Yeah. Well, no, I was speaking on vulnerability. I was speaking on how during the course of the day, when you really look at it, women like to think that they're following their husband's lead without question.
Right.
There are some things that she may push back on. So she may not have a problem cooking and cleaning and taking care of the kids, right? But he wants her to do something like that's going to compromise her time, and she has to put him before herself. She's more than likely going to have a hard time with that. There's going to be some.
For example, see, that's why I'm asking you to repeat it, right? So that's not so clear. What do you mean?
So, like you asked me, if you needed something to do, you needed me to do something or research something, that could possibly take all day.
So right? What?
And if she might not want to do that. She may not want to do it. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. It's gonna take me all day.
So this is in the best interest of our family, and I need you to cooperate and get this done for me.
She may not see it that way. She just may see it as you are so focused on yourself. You don't care about what she wants. You don't care about what her needs are. And now she's putting you above her. Now she's going to resent you. Because for her, it's not even about family. It's not what's in the best interest of the family. It's about you and her. And your needs are coming before her own. And women are taught that a lot, that, never put a man's needs before your own. Take care of yourself.
And see, and this is why I asked you. See, it's easy when I ask the question. See, this is when you ask someone, would you do this? They're like, yes, sure, I'll do it. Okay, now I'm asking you the same question a different way. I'm asking about cooperation. And now you're giving me a justification on why a woman wouldn't cooperate.
No, you asked me, would I? And I told you, yes, I would. But you can see how women, because you were speaking on how women not only need to be vulnerable in the bedroom, but they need to be vulnerable outside the bedroom as well.
Right. That's right.
So just click that a lot of women are struggling with vulnerability in their relationships and their marriages. They can't fully allow themselves to be vulnerable with a man, to where it's not about you or me. It's about what's in the best interest of the relationship.
Exactly. And I'm asking you to take care of something that's in the best interest of the relationship. And I think a lot of women don't see the big picture the same way men do. See, that men can actually take them. A great leader is making decisions that may or may not have an effect on them. What's in the best interest of the whole? So if you're looking at us as a couple, and if we're having a family, what's in the best interest of the family? And I don't think women are looking long-term and big picture And so if a guy is saying, I need you to take care of this, and she's like, well, I don't feel like it, and why, it's now you have an uncooperative woman. So that's why I was asking, do you think if a woman is cooperative, it can turn a man on? And so when what you're saying is she's going to be resentful, I don't want to do it, and then she doesn't want to have sex. And now you start to see where women fall or are failing at being a good lover, because it starts way before the bedroom.
Yes.
And I think a lot of women don't understand this. I
Well,
got everything you said about you'll dress sexy, all those things are nice, and I'll cook, but the relationship is an adult relationship is bigger than that.
right. Cooperation is key from a woman that men, I mean, are because lack of cooperation leads to bickering and arguing for the most
Right,
part.
exactly.
Who wants to have sex after they've been bickering and arguing all day besides me?
Well, no, there are some people who like to bicker and argue and have makeup sex, right?
Yeah.
That's how you fix. So the woman won't cooperate. She'll fight and argue and then say, I'll have sex. But the thing that he wanted done never is not getting done.
Right.
So now we have holes in a relationship.
But too, you also have to look at it from a woman's perspective, to where, and a man being a great lover starts with him operating in his masculinity and upholding his end of the marriage, which is to be the leader and the provider and the protector. So
Right.
doing that, she's not going to be in the mood to have sex.
I understand that. So, and this leans a little bit on the show I did yesterday about women not knowing what to look for in a man.
I don't think men nor women know what it look like, what to look for in a partner. I think that's the bigger conversation, because you have men who are constantly talking about how sex ends after marriage, right? How she's changed, and you have women who do the same thing. Oh, he's changed. So I think it's on both sides, that men and women do not know how to do not know what to look for in a partner.
So what I'm getting at is sex starts before the bedroom, and lots of women will say, yes, I understand that. That's right. You should be giving me roses and candy and buying me gifts and all these things and telling me how beautiful I am. And that makes the relationship very one-sided. It makes it because women have a whole list of things that they want a man to do. And they never consider, well, what are the things that will have a man feel more attracted to his woman? Like, my woman is really on my side. I asked her to take care of this, and this, and it was handled, man. When I came home, I wanted to reward her in some way, because it's part of positive reinforcement. And I think women are not fully comprehending that. Women just see it as you need to buy me things and tell me nice things, and I'll have sex with you. And whatever you need as a man, well, that's all you want anyway. See, this is part of the problem, believing that that's all a man wants anyway. So all I have to do is show up and look pretty, and I did my job.
Well, no, I think it's more than that for women. I think women, it's not just about looking pretty and just being there and wanting gifts. A lot of wives do take care of their households, and they take a lot on for themselves, take care of their households. Where they fail at, which is the most important component of a marriage, of a committed relationship, is the cooperation part.
So let me say this. See, taking care of the house and the children is this is going to sound cold. it does nothing for the man. That's nothing to do with her relationship directly to him. Indirectly, he benefits, but what she wants is from him is directly to her. Buy me gifts, tell me nice things. That's a direct line from the man to the woman. Well, when the man wants something back in return, she's like, well, I did these things over. All of those things are indirect. And I think women don't, she's going to cook food anyway because she's hungry. That's going to happen. The woman's going to eat.
But it's different when you've got, because when you're hungry, you don't feel like cooking. You can just.
I understand. It doesn't matter. There are only so many days that will go by before she gets her ass up in the kitchen and cooks. She's going to eat anyway. A human being can go for maybe
I'm
five
not
weeks without eating. So she's going to eat. She's going to eat eventually.
Right. She's gonna eat, whether it's fast food or she's gonna make herself a
Going
sandwich.
to eat. So like, let's not get it. She's going to eat. And unless she's sloppy and doesn't care about the house, there's some women, and I've seen it, worse than a sorority. I've seen once. I've seen it once.
It
Yeah.
doesn't matter the socioeconomic class, whether they're educated or not. Some women are just horrible housekeepers.
No, right, because this woman was an attorney, so, and she was she went to a great top school. But so there's some women who don't keep the house clean, right? But there's some things they're going to keep clean, right? They do know. So a woman is going to already have some house cleaning, and she has to eat. That has nothing to do with the man. So I think women are missing the missing key when we talk about being a great lover. And so now I can take what we're saying now and translate that to the bedroom, because this is a mindset. So there's a mindset that the man is supposed to always have this list to do things. Do it. See, women are waiting for a man to do it to me. If you do it to me, I know you're a good lover. And then when a man says, well, I need you to do something for me. Well, why? That's an inconvenience for me. Then you get these folded arms, even if you don't see it physically in the mind. Why should I have to do that? I had sex with you. That's all you wanted. So I'm looking to break that.
Okay.
So if a man is asking you to do something, be cooperative. And if you think the man is asking you to do something that will hurt you or the relationship, why are you with that guy?
Correct.
I mean, if it's just for sex, then be honest. Tell the guy, hey, I'm here because you rock my world. I want nothing more from you. I'm probably going to be committed to some other guy, and you're here, you're the plumber. You're here to unclog my drains.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't think a man can handle that. I don't
Surely
think
can. SW, you can handle that.
some men cannot handle, they can handle treating women like pass arounds. But if a woman treats them like a pass around, they're gonna have an issue with it.
No, a side dude. What do you think?
Listen, I have a friend who he does that. He has these little jump off chicks, right? He met one girl who she was like, you know what? I don't want to be in a relationship, but I just want to have sex and hang out and, go out, but we're not going to be in a relationship. And I'm going to see other guys. And he couldn't handle it. He ended up not seeing her because he wanted her to be all about him and available just to him. So.
Okay. But what about the guys who are seeing the married woman? He's handling that. He knows every night she goes home to her husband.
Right. But then let her get another boyfriend number 2 and see how he'll appreciate that. He doesn't mind being the other guy when she's in a committed relationship. Okay. But now to add another dude into the mix, you got a side dude, you got boyfriend number 2. No, it's one thing to have to compete with the husband. I got to compete with another dude. No, I really haven't seen men been able to handle it.
What do you think, SW? If you're laying down a married woman and she gets a second side dude, you okay with that? How do you feel about that?
Would you be okay with it?
Um, you know what? It could happen, and you don't know it. But I
No.
guess you're asking if you do know it. If she says, "Hey, I can't spend as much time. I have a second side dude." You know, you're good at what you do.
Like, what would I look like, a sucker or something? You trying to play me like I'm a chump? Some of these guys be trying to get the woman to leave her husband for him. You think he's gonna be okay with a second dude coming into the nah. This isn't a 3-ring circus.
Okay. So maybe the side dude wasn't a good lover.
It could be, but sometimes some women just feel like it's not enough. If let's say she's a true nympho, she's a sex addict, and it's not enough. They're good when they give it to her. It's just not enough, and so she has to add someone else to the equation to get her needs met.
So yeah, and this is what I thought. This was my first thought, is what PJ said. I don't mind so far as she lets me know when she's STD, so I don't catch it.
Y'all nasty.
No, but that would be a concern if she's.
I wouldn't care. That's just even still, like, my mind is like just thought of like body fluids, and I know people take showers and whatnot, but like my mind, I'm like, yeah. Did you even take a shower before you came? Because some women are nasty like that. They'll do that. Like in their mind, they're so screwed up that they'll have sex with one dude and don't even bother to take a shower really, and then have sex with the other dude just because she's trying to, like, it's a mental thing. Like, and then if, oh God, I don't even want to think about it, because I'm like, if she's letting a guy pop off in her, that doesn't come all out right away, and then she goes home and have sex with her husband, or she has sex with you, and just nasty, just nasty. It's nasty. I'm purely monogamous. I need just one partner. That's it. That's all I need. I'm satisfied.
So, I saw this other article, and it talked about being a good lover. And it said, plan your encounters. What do you think of that?
Wait, plan your encounters.
I'm just telling you what it says. I didn't make this up.
I need context, because plan your encounters, I'm already instantly turned off.
It says, time has a habit of slipping away, becoming filled with activities you didn't plan, even if it's just watching television. If you want to be a better lover for your significant other, schedule your adventures so they don't get away from you. Call them dates if you like.
Okay.
Planning to make love creates anticipation and piques interest. You don't have to go anywhere or do anything special. Set aside an evening or a morning or an afternoon if your days are free, just for each other.
I can see that. That's for two very busy people, but that would drive me nuts if I had to like schedule sex, and sex only happen like if we scheduled a date night or something. That would drive me nuts. I would be unfulfilled and I'd be turned off, because sex is supposed to be, I want it to be organic and spontaneous.
Hey, Crystalline, how you doing? What's going on?
Hi, Crystalline.
The other one is change your routine. If you and your partner have been together a long time, chances are you have a fairly established pattern when it comes to having sex. The next time you find yourself starting your regular ritual, stop and make a change. It doesn't have to be anything major. Shower together instead of separately, light scented candles, or massage each other with heated body oil, play music that you heard on your first date, wear something surprising. I mean, these are all, who wrote this? A woman must have wrote this, huh?
Because I'm like, you don't like all the scented candles and oils, huh?
I know there are some popular people who brag about candles, but we won't get into that.
Listen. But it can even be as spontaneous. Like some people always want to have sex in the bedroom. Just have sex in the living room, in the kitchen, somewhere else other than the bedroom. Like if
On
you're
the kitchen table, so you become dinner. You become dinner and dessert.
I don't know about the kitchen table if you having people over, if you host dinner parties and stuff, or you have children, that's kind of, as a mother, I wouldn't want to I would not want to have sex on the kitchen table. And
What
then I
about
got
in your office? What if you have your own office and you close the door and just say, "All right, come on, pull those panties."
there you go. There you go. I don't know if I could do it in this chair, but I would have to. We'd have to make it work. But yeah, get spontaneous. You don't need the candles and stuff. You just need to. You can break your routine in other ways. Just get out of the bedroom. Stop
So
being
he
in the
said,
bedroom.
here's another one. Slow down and enjoy it. Even though it's natural for your body to slow down, your brain may still be telling you to move things along at a faster pace. Relax and enjoy the journey. Explore new ways to stimulate your partner outside of intercourse. And this is what I was saying, setting him up for the day. Take pleasure in both giving and receiving, and let things unfold at their natural pace. That's kind of what you were saying, right?
Yeah, and stop being a wild man. Like it just bang, 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 like a jackhammer. Like you do not need to be a jackhammer. I know some women need that because they feel that's
You
how.
don't need jackhammers.
No, there's no need to be.
They're paving my street. You should have heard them out there with jackhammers this morning. They were like, man, they were like 4 or 5 going at once. Like,
I can only imagine. But look,
I
sometimes.
was like, man. So I'm going to talk about sex today after hearing jackhammers.
Listen, for a quickie.
Hey,
Yeah,
Nelly, now what's up?
great, but when you set the mood and you're really into it, don't dive in and become a jackhammer. But PJ asked me a question that I wanted to answer.
Oh, okay.
Letitia, if you had the potion that would make you look like 20 forever, would you still stand firm on monogamy? Yes, I would. I've always been monogamous. So just the thought of multiple partners, even when I started dating at 16, I only had one boyfriend at a time.
What do you?
And even if I wasn't having sex with any of them, it still was. I only had one boyfriend until it didn't work out, and then I would move on to the next. It was never this. Oh, I'm talking to Johnny and Jake and Tim. No, it was just I'm Johnny's girl until me or Johnny decide we no longer want to be together, and then sometimes I don't.
When Johnny says, "You're my girl. You're mine."
I'm your girl, Johnny.
Listen. I want to make. How do you feel when Johnny says, "You're my girl. You're mine"?
I feel great. That gives me warm, fuzzy feelings inside.
Really? Now some women may not like that, right?
Yeah, but I'm not a feminist. Modern women have an issue with that because they see it as being owned or possession, and I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with the man staking his claim and saying, "You're my woman, you're my girl."
Okay. A woman once said that she believes all men look at women as property, and they claim women the same way they claim property.
I don't care. I don't have.
This was an attorney. This was a well-educated.
I don't have a problem with. I want to be claimed. So.
So PJ wants to know: do you want to be possessed?
Do I want to be? Okay, that sounds weird. Do I want to be possessed? I don't.
What's up, Paul Brown?
Can you break that down for me? What he means by that from a man's perspective, please.
So while he's answering that, so let's say sexually in the middle of sex. And so when I talked about the essence of manhood, this is what manhood can do. It can completely possess and consume you, physically and otherwise. So having me tied up gives me no access to that. So as a man, and I give you the essence of my manhood, as me being a great lover, I am going to possess and consume. You are mine. I own you.
Ted, you might want to slow down there. You might impregnate somebody through the screen now. There is no protection going on. If you say like that, like, yes.
Right?
Possess me, please.
So wait, are you answering his question?
Yes.
PJ, did I say it the right way, PJ?
Wow, I don't know how he's seen. Unless he said most women, most women like men to think that they are only interested in monogamy so they can fool around. Huh? I don't. Okay, I don't know what he's saying by that. But let's get back to your definition of possession.
Okay.
All right, 6 weeks. I might have a little secret to tell. Yes, he said. Oh gosh. Okay, now I'm instantly Sahara Desert. Why do you do that? I told you those glasses for me.
I possess you. I own you.
But I said those glasses do nothing for me. And you listen, not with them glasses on. It's not working. Take them glasses off. Okay. Take the sunglasses off and put your regular glasses back on. No, it's not working. I can't. Nope, nothing. See, you're not listening. You're being a bad lover right now. You're not listening.
Oh my goodness.
Sunglasses.
Are you trying to leave me?
Okay. No, I'm just letting you know. I'm being vulnerable. I'm being open. And I'm telling you.
Are you really being open?
Huh? I'm telling you what I desire.
What you desire.
He said, I meant, would you like your man to own you? Why? No. Why does a man feel the need to own someone? No.
Well, that's we're saying the same thing, right?
No. To say that you own me, that's not saying you're my girl. I get a lot of women think that that's what that's implying, but to me, it's not the same thing. But then when you get to saying I own you, yeah, I'm take issue with that because you don't own me. You didn't buy this. You didn't purchase this.
Sure, if I bought the marriage license.
You didn't purchase me. You purchased a marriage license. You didn't buy me off the shelf. You didn't buy me off the auction block.
I'm gonna go give your dad. I'm gonna go give your dad 10 grand and say I own your daughter now.
My dad would tell you my dowry be 20,000. That's
Great.
what he
20 grand now. Come on, you're mine now. I got it.
My dad wouldn't have a problem because he had to pay a dowry for his wife. So
good.
He owns her.
You're mine. You're mine. Let's go home.
That's different.
Cooperation. Because and then we're gonna and that gets us to this next thing that they say is try different positions. How do you feel about that? You think that's sometimes health issue? So do you think it's important to be a good lover to try different positions?
Yes.
And PJ got me. Thank you, PJ. He got it. You think that's important? Trying different positions?
Yes. You have to break it up. You know, sometimes.
So what's the best position to make a woman squirt?
I don't know. It's not something I do. But no,
PJ is going to take you to the bathroom and say, wait, don't let that out. Not here.
And it's going to dissipate on him. Like, wait, what happened? Dried up.
Like the witch in the Wizard of Oz, I'm melting, right?
I think missionary position is good. With her laying on her back, she's comfortable. I think it depends on the woman because I've seen through porn how some women are standing up and other.
Some men like when you just get down on all fours and arch that back, put your head in the pillow and arch that back just nice. So it's like.
Why are you so visual with it? Look at it. Like your face got very intense in that moment. Like you could just picture it. You better be careful. Don't stand up.
I might not be wearing pants at all.
Oh, okay, then stand up then. Let us see. Well, I don't know about that. Let me quit.
Where's my measuring tape?
Oh yeah, yeah, you're 4 inches. You said, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Um,
Oh my goodness.
so what about spreading out the love? Spread out the love. It's great when you have the whole afternoon to indulge in sex or an evening when you're not tired. But this isn't always the case. Rather than rushing through a quickie where you like jackhammers for quickies, try breaking off your lovemaking and returning later. Oh, so they're saying you might do a little quickie in the morning, and this is interesting, right? So listen to this. A man may find that he's enjoyed a sexy session of giving pleasure to his partner, even if he hasn't experienced orgasm himself. Can you understand that?
I understand that, but that's a turn off for me.
No, but do you understand? This is, they're trying to tell women something here.
I get that. I get it. A lot of, men they're focused on giving her pleasure even if he hasn't orgasm. For me, I'm like, why bother? That's I just feel like why even bother? If you're not gonna come, why bother?
Wow.
It's a waste of sex.
So you just wasted all your juice for nothing.
Exactly.
Damn. Wow. That's terrible news.
No.
Nelly Nell, I gotta say big thank you after what you wrote yesterday, man. I'm honored. Thank you. Some yellow for Letitia. I will only consider monogamy if I have access to sex 24/7. Since you want commitment 24/7, you must be cooperative, fun, clean, fit, and be on board with me leading. Nelly Nell, I love it. So, and I was talking about cooperation just a few minutes ago. So, Letitia, and we have Crystalline. I want to hear your response to that.
I said yes. I completely understand where he's coming from.
No, he wants access to your body 24/7. So if he's going to be monogamous, and I wonder if a lot of women think this through. So listen. A lot of women are like, well, I want you to myself. I want to be married, and we're monogamous. And then he gets into the relationship, and she's like, I'm not in the mood. You want sex too much. What? Why do we have to have sex every day or 4 or 5 times a day? He's saying, I give you 24/7 commitment if you give me 24/7 commitment to access. And you know what? Not just laying there waiting for me to do it. And I know he didn't say that, but you're giving me, you're being a good lover. You're being me a good lover. You're taking care of me. What do you think of that?
Listen, my type of guy. But men need to understand that if you have a high sex drive, that's an anomaly. That's not the majority of the population. And you cannot put your sex drive, just suppose your sex drive onto someone else and saying, well, unless I can have sex just all the way 24/7, then I'm not going to give you monogamy. No, just meet someone, just find someone who has a high sex drive.
Hey, Crystalline, the question is up there on the board, or up there. Nelly Nell is saying, if you want 24/7 commitment, I need 24/7 access to your body sexually. How do you feel about that? That's the question.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with trying to say, well, I can only give you monogamy. I appreciate having a conversation. I think men should have that conversation with women. If you have an extremely high sex drive, you need to be open with it and honest and say, look, I require sex 24/7. Like if I at a drop of a hat, if I want it, I want it. I don't care if you feeding one of the kids, I don't care what you're doing. You watching your show. I want to have sex in that moment. I want to have sex, right? Then it's up to her to decide if she can handle that. If she says, you know what, I can't give you that, and you choose to go forward, then there's no no, you don't get to say, well, I get to, then it's okay, I'm okay, then it should be okay that I cheat. Unless she gives you the okay, in that moment and says, you know what, I think I want to be with you, but I think you might have to get you a little side piece because I'm not gonna be able to handle all of that. But if she doesn't agree with that and she's letting you know up front, I can't handle sex all like that, that's too much. Who wants to have sex that much? And you continue to move forward, then it's on you to remain monogamous. And you don't get to use her lack of sex drive, her not being equal to you in the sex drive department, as an excuse to not be monogamous.
Well, actually, this is what Nell put on the table is actually a good conversation to have. So yes. I'm the man, I'm going to lead the house, and you don't need to work. If you work, it's because you want to, not because you have to. So I'll take care of the household and the bills. I need you to cooperate. There are times I'm going to need you to take care of things. But on top of that, I'm going to give you 24/7 monogamy. In return, I need access to you 24/7 sexually. I need you, and not just sex where you're doing me a favor. I don't want any doing me a favor sex. I want you to be with me as my woman. You're my woman. I own you. And if I want to possess and consume you,
if you didn't pay a dowry, you own absolutely nothing. But I agree with everything else you said. But the men have to also be aware of the pick-me's, because a pick-me is, she's kind of going to go along whatever you're saying, but there are ways you can weed that out, and there are ways you can weed her out and figure out if she's truly who she's claiming to be, or if she's just saying that because she wants to be with you.
No, I get what you're saying, Nelly. Now, it's not that you need sex 24/7.
Right.
You just need access to her.
Right.
And if it happens to be a week where you want to have sex every day, and next week it's only 4 times, and you just need to know that she's available to you. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's a conversation to have.
She's not just, no, I'm not in the mood, I don't feel like it. Or she's using sex as a weapon. Like she's mad at you, you done something that, or not even mad, but she wanted you to do something or get her something, and because you're not acting like she wants you to act, she withholds sex. So we get what you're saying. Y'all ladies have to stop that. That is mind-boggling. Well, I can't even say ladies because men do it too. Like, people need to stop that. You need to stop using sex as a weapon.
It's
fun. Like, it's great and it's enjoying. It's like one of the best things that God has created. And you if you're not into sex, be with someone who doesn't have a high sex drive, or someone who has a low sex drive, because even an average sex drive can be too much for someone who has a low sex drive. But I understand that a lot of women have average to low sex drives, not on par with men, because y'all are biochemically, you're just different than us. Women, for the most part, our cycles are like that, like other animals in life. Like, you don't really see female dogs having sex every day. You see them having sex during their heat cycle. And women are the same way. If it was not for the pressure to have sex with men, that we feel like we need to engage in sex, I believe the majority of women would only have sex around their ovulation time and would be fine with that.
Okay. And Crystalline, I think you kind of missed it. The question is actually perfect, because if you ask a woman if she has a high sex drive, she can say yes. And
right.
Some women believe they have a high sex drive. They'll think that having sex 3 or 4 days a week is a lot. And then the guy he actually wants sex. He wants sex 7 days a week, right? And so high is relative, but to ask a woman, do I have access to you 24/7 is a very fair question. And it doesn't mean he's going to have sex 24/7. Do I have access? How are we going to work out if you don't feel like it? Like, how are we going to deal with this?
And And that question is definitely the way Nelly Nell put it. That is the way you can weed out the pick-me's.
Exactly.
Is by saying, do I have access to you 24/7? Because that word can be triggering for a lot of women. What do you mean? What do you mean access? You trying to own me? You trying to control me? And the moment she starts speaking that language, that's not a woman that you want to be with, because right there she's showing you that she's not going to be cooperative. She's going to withhold in some areas.
In SW, right? So, and Nelly Nell said something important. He addresses that in the second phone call. So, in a second phone call with a woman, you're still a stranger. You can find, if you're talking about sex early on, she's going to tell you.
Yes.
So if you wait until you're in a committed relationship to find out that, you waited way too long.
Right. Right. That by the second phone conversation, you are she's gonna, you tell her I need access to you 24/7. She will be like, what the hell are you talking about? What you mean 24/7? And if like, well, what if I want to have sex 7 days a week, so that's 14 times in a week. In that moment, she's going to let you know if that's too much. And the majority of women are going to tell you that's too much for them. So you know that you require that much sex, listen, I like you, boo. We could continue to hang out, but I'm going to tell you right now, this is not going to work for me.
So a real story. I read about a real story, a couple in Germany, man and woman met, and they were having sex 7 times a day, every single day. That's 49 times a week. 7 days a week, 7 times a day.
Yes.
And they were like, man, we are compatible. And so in this article, they were interviewing the woman. So because they were compatible sexually, they found they were compatible in other things. So they got married, and now they're having sex 7 days a week. And the wife was waiting for him to slow down. Like 4 times a day, 7 days a week. He was still laying it out 7 times a day, 7 days a week. And what she did was she put an ad in the paper for a woman, and a woman answered and qualified. So because she didn't want to lose her husband, she got this other woman to have sex with her husband 3 or 4 times a day, and she took care of the rest. And she said it was great. The other woman was cool. They got along well. There were no threesomes, but she said they could go shopping together. But she wanted to accommodate her man, and understanding he had a high sex drive, she just assumed it would die down a little bit, and it just didn't. So I don't know. So what you were saying, that there are women who will say, oh yeah, I can do that. With, I think most women would say just once a day, 7 days a week would be too much, I think.
Listen, men say it too. Men, I see it all the time where you talking about sex, and men are like, who has time for all that sex? I'm exhausted. I go to work. I come home. I just want to eat and sleep, and that's it. I don't want to have sex. Sex 3 times a week is basically enough. If they're working Monday through Friday, they prefer to just have sex on the weekend.
Right. Well, so let me tell you, there are, and you can tell me if I'm incorrect. As that first article I read, and it talked about non-judgment. And I think SW is getting to this. If you kind of like release the Kraken on a woman and don't judge her for having a large sex drive with you, a woman will have a much larger sex drive than I think a lot of men realize. If she's not judged for it.
Well, her sex drive is already high, though. Her sex drive already seems higher than her husband's or her partner's. If he judges her for having such a high sex drive, she's either going to find her someone else.
Exactly.
To accommodate that,
Right.
Or she's either gonna move on to someone else, or she's gonna have her boyfriend on the side, or she's gonna be miserable. And then
But no, I'm saying something else. Here's what I'm saying: that a woman may go into a relationship believing that if I she just may believe she has a sex drive, and whatever she believes it is, that's whatever the number is, right? That's what she thinks it is. If a man, and we're talking about being a great lover, I'm saying a man who's a great lover, sex happens before the bedroom. He can create an environment where his woman feels comfortable having a high sex drive, and she hadn't done that before with someone else, is what I'm getting at.
I don't think that someone who has an average to low sex drive, that their sex drive is going to increase.
Really? You don't think so?
I don't think it's gonna. I think you may have that spurt where she's really into it and she wants to have sex a lot with him, because based on how she's feeling, like that, she feels like she's in love. I think that's what happens, but that's not gonna be sustainable.
Really? It's not. How long do you think most women can hold that for?
Until the moment she starts feeling like the argument starts. Because
a couple of years or
no, I mean, the arguing, the bickering, what a disagreement doesn't even mean, when they're arguing, doesn't even mean even a heated debate, a passionate debate, that can change. So I think that's why I think a lot of men fail to understand. That's why women have sex. A lot of sex can have a lot of sex in the beginning. Like it seems like you're having a lot of sex, and then once you get married, things change. Why? Because now the reality has set in. You're moved in together, and there's added responsibilities. So not only is she taking care of her stuff, but she has to take on your stuff. And if you throw children into the mix,
right,
children now, so she has all this stuff going on. So a woman who has a natural high sex drive, that's not going to affect her. But someone who has a high sex drive based off of her emotions and how she's feeling about a guy, life is going to change that.
Interesting. So when you said debate, I'll be back, but I want to talk about sapiosexuals.
Okay. Oh, you stood up. You got this yellow banner on here, and you stood up, and we couldn't see if you had pants on. I'm going to order me something to eat because I did not eat today. I went to the gym this morning, and I didn't even eat. So I need to order something to eat. Can't even leave out because I'm doing this. So I have to order takeout. I have to order DoorDash or something. I don't even know what I want. This is the first time I don't know what I want. Normally I know what I want to eat. Now I don't even know. Any suggestions? Okay, Christian Lee said right, which is always interesting to me, that women deny men access on a regular basis. People do that because their sex drive. Some people just don't have a high sex drive. Having a high sex drive is abnormal. It's a very small percentage of the population. And people think because they like sex that they have a high sex drive. No, people who are not having sex tend to want sex a lot. So they think they have a high sex drive. You really can't tell until you get into a committed relationship. And then when you're looking at having sex every day, sometimes several times a day, but actually they're saying like having sex, I think it's more than 3 times a week is abnormal for couples. The average couple has sex 3 times a month. Think about that. The average couple has sex 3 to 4 times a month. That's like once a week. Oh my gosh. So having sex more than once a week. So if you're having sex 3 to 4 times a week, then you're considered to have an abnormal sexual relationship. So why do you always leave me? See, now I don't feel protected. I don't feel safe.
Really? You want me to carry you over a puddle?
Yes. You can pick me up caveman style and carry me over a puddle. I have to order something to eat before 5 o'clock, and I don't know what I want. And this is the first time I've been indecisive about what I want to eat.
Should I give you something to eat then?
You know what? What? I shouldn't say that. But
I can feed you if you like.
how you gonna? What you gonna feed me?
Whatever you like.
I want some pasta.
Yeah, I have some pasta.
No, I want some chicken wings.
How about the drumstick?
Yeah, I'm done with you. Yeah, what you gonna do? FedEx it to me?
What?
Put it
Yeah.
on the plane?
How about the turkey leg?
A whole turkey leg. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
yes. I love a good
Yeah.
sized turkey leg.
Good sized turkey leg, huh?
I love a good sized turkey leg.
Uh,
I think all women would appreciate a good sized turkey leg.
no, I think a lot of there's some women who don't actually.
A good sized turkey leg, okay. Majority of women would appreciate a good sized turkey leg.
Some women are like, you see the hands do this, back off.
PJ said Ted is a hot ostrich leg. Oh my gosh, have you seen how thin an ostrich leg is?
No, that would be pretty meaty. He said you don't feel possessed and consumed.
No, I don't feel possessed and consumed. He left me. So he's got to start all over.
Oh my goodness. So you like being consumed by a man?
Yes, I do.
Why? Tell me why. I think the men want to hear
It
why.
makes me feel more like a woman. It makes me feel more feminine and soft and vulnerable. It just makes me feel more like a woman.
So consumed by manhood.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be, it's not about it being a jackhammer. It's just
right, just
right.
consume. Just consume.
You like that.
I love it. My blinking weird.
So you're saying that so this is I just thought of something. If a woman is in the beginning of a relationship is having more sex because of the emotional aspect, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Like she's emotional, it's new emotional, it's good emotional feeling, right?
Correct.
So when you said the bickering, I'm just going to throw this out there. So if the man is like, yes, he doesn't know this is an emotional thing. He just knows that he has access to this woman whenever he wants, right?
Okay.
So he may have pushed her beyond her sexual limit, right?
Right.
In terms of sex drive. And she may start the bickering just so she can slow things down.
Yes.
If she wants to fight with him, that's the only way she knows how.
Yes.
So instead of saying, I don't want this much sex, she starts fighting and bickering with him.
Yeah, that's possible. That happens a lot too.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And it creates this insane cycle.
Yep.
And if they both like makeup sex, and that,
then that's another dysfunctional aspect.
Right. What I mean, what it can do is it can slow down sex because of the arguments. And then instead of sex dying away, you get this passion from makeup sex. You keep him away by having arguments.
Right. You're
not having makeup sex.
She doesn't want to have sex that night or that moment. She knows he wants it, so she'll start arguing with him.
Right.
Then 2 days later, she might be in a mood, and now it's like, because for 2 days she's making it hell on earth probably,
right?
Because she doesn't want to have sex. But now that she's in the mood, it's like now, that definitely does happen. I know someone that happened to, unfortunately, where it was like 2 days later, then she started doing all these things and being nice and cooperative because she wanted to have sex. But yeah, that's ooh. Is there a Viagra for women? I don't know.
There is. I forget the name of it, but I've seen something. You know, I heard someone say something interesting. So if a man can't get it up, he has problems. He's impotent. If a woman doesn't get wet, it's the man's problem because he didn't make her feel sexy. So it's always on the man. Sex is a man's job, basically.
Yeah, I mean that's how it's taught. Like you have this new culture where women are exploring and engaging in sex like men have always done traditionally, right? You have sex has been hampered by culture and religion for centuries for women. It was never a woman's pleasure, it was for a man's pleasure. Um, and if a man wanted a woman to not be a cold fish in bed, he had to do what was necessary to make sure that she desired him. It just goes back to the mental block that women have because women for centuries were told that if you enjoy sex, if you
You're a slut. You're a whore.
you're a whore. So you can't if oh my god, it's like women who still feel like on if you have sex with a man on the first date, he's gonna think you a slut, so she's shamed. So she's feeling shame. And she's feeling shame from both men and women. Um so she's not likely to do it. Me, I'm not gonna do it because I don't know you. But a lot of women will hold back because that's they're in their head, they're thinking this is what he thinks of me. He's gonna think I'm a slut.
So it's interesting that
So Christian says some are not able to have secretions at all and have to take medications to do so. I think that's a medical problem. Usually that happens during menopause when a woman is no longer producing estrogen, and because estrogen is what causes that hormone surge. I'm sorry, not estrogen, progesterone. That hormone surge gets us prepared for sex because our body is being prepared to ovulate. So that's why you'll see around the woman's hormone cycle, her ovulation cycle, that she's going to be at her wettest and you don't have to do anything. It's just wet because her body's producing that hormone to prepare her to be impregnated. But menopause is the only time that a woman's body is just going to stop producing progesterone. And so she's going to dry up like a Sahara Desert, and then she's going to need creams or some type of medication to make that happen. But outside of a woman's ovulation cycle, she's likely not going to be as wet as you want her to. She's got to be turned on. A woman has to be turned on. That's just how we are. Women have to be turned on in a way other than a penis is in front of us, because our bodies are not at that time prepared for impregnation, to be impregnated.
What about the women who all a man has to do is stand close to her and whisper in her ear, and just like that, she's wet? Or are those women like some?
Those are abnormal.
Are they defective or something?
No, that's an
leaks. Like, if a dam has a leak, it's always wet on one side of the dam where it shouldn't be.
Well, how do you know she's not ovulating in that moment?
Because she may be like that week after week, day. It doesn't matter what day.
Well, she's an anomaly because our bodies just don't work that way. Like, we're just not, for the most part, we're not dripping wet wops all throughout the cycle. We're just not. Our body goes through stages where it's very wet during ovulation, and then then after our, right before and after our periods, it's right after ovulation, it dries up like the Sahara Desert.
So do you think some women can be, I'm thinking in terms of an aphrodisiac, right? What PJ
Right.
said.
What you're doing is you're turning her on, and women can be turned on in different ways. Whereas a man could just see a woman and he's instantly turned on by her, right? There's something about her, he's just instantly turned on. Whereas women, a man has to actually do something to turn her on. And PJ said money gets them wet quicker. For some women, yes, because that might be that gifts might be their love language. Who knows? But something has to be done to turn her on outside of when she's ovulating.
No, we're not talking about gifts. We're talking about
No,
what money signifies to women.
I know. I was being facetious.
Okay. So money signifies something, and it may make a woman feel valued by the man, or she has power or control over him. What's the deal? What is the deal with that? Why is money such a turn on for women?
Because she wants to be provided for and taken care of.
Yeah, but it can be some guy who's nothing to her.
Doesn't mean anything. Her bills are getting paid. That's why it's a turn on. She no longer has to stress about her bills. How she's gonna feed herself, and if she has kids, how she's gonna take care of her day to day, her month to month, meeting a guy who is going to start taking care of her financially. Yeah, that's an aphrodisiac for her.
But that's not long lasting though.
As long as he's taking care of her, of course, because the moment he stops taking care of her, she's gonna drive like the Sahara Desert.
38% of marriages are sexless, and some of these guys are taking good care of these women.
Are they though?
They are. The bills are paid. She doesn't have to worry about any bills.
Okay, but but you have to go deeper to that. Is she, because just because a woman is hypergamous doesn't mean she's a gold digger. So if I marry a man who is a financial provider, that's a start. But what is his character like? How is he treating me? And just because a man is taking care of the household, paying bills and stuff, doesn't mean he's treating me well. Because if you're out there cheating on me, guess what? I'm not gonna be happy. So I'm not going to have. That's going to be an instant turn off for me. I'm not going to have sex with you. I'm not going to want to have sex with you again, because now I'm thinking about all the women you're having sex with, all the other women. So when it comes to looking at marriages where it starts off to where you think she got with you because of money, and then you're in a relationship and now the sex stopped, because something's wrong with her. No, you have to look into that marriage and see what actually is going on, because truth be told, some men change during marriage as well. And he might have switched up on her.
So then how do women create intimacy with a man?
We talked about this already.
No, well, Crystalline is saying intimacy. No, you talked about dressing, right? And being, so what, see, a man can create intimacy not just with gifts and whispering and touching, but that none of those things really necessarily mean intimacy. Like
right,
intimacy is an ongoing thing. It's something that you create intentionally.
Right. When I said that, I wasn't talking about intimacy. I was talking about preparing the man for sex.
Right. So how do you create intimacy? We really didn't talk about that.
We did a different conversation we talked about it, and the conclusion was women create intimacy by being vulnerable. By being vulnerable and open.
Okay, so based on that, what you just said, there's probably over 90% of women do not know how to create intimacy.
That's correct.
In the U.S.
That's correct.
And even when you were talking about being judged, there are countries where they don't, that conversation doesn't exist that way.
Correct.
There are other countries that have a very different attitude towards sex and even women towards men. So if women being vulnerable, so are you saying that's the only way for a woman to create intimacy is to be vulnerable?
No, that's the biggest way to create intimacy. I mean, she has to know herself. She has to be in tune with herself. and she has to do the work, know her body. Because once she knows her body, then she can feel vulnerable with.
Okay. So now we're talking. That's 90% of women who don't know their bodies, and they're not intimate. They don't know how to create intimacy. This is so men are. See, a lot of women think because a man climaxes, he's sexually fulfilled. But if the woman doesn't know her body and doesn't know how to create intimacy, the men are not really getting much out of this out here. See, this is where Crystalline is not really listening. I'm asking for how do women create intimacy, and the first thing you say is it's not just for women to create. I'm asking how do women create? That's all I want to talk about. This is how men have. This is how women become poor communicators. When a man asks a question, he wants an answer to his question. He doesn't want to hear about what you should do too. How do women create intimacy? That is the only thing I'm asking. Not what men should do too. That becomes tit for tat, and that is not a healthy relationship. When a man has a question and he wants the answer, that's all he wants the answer to. He doesn't want to hear about what he did and what you should do.
So that speaks to what we were talking about earlier, and the how does a woman become a great lover? And cooperation. I cooperated with your question, and I'm just using this conversation as an example. Let's say you and I we're married, we're having a conversation, and you ask me that question, and if I step out of the perimeters of that question and answer it in a way that I'm trying to change the narrative, trying to change the focus, so that the onus is not just on women, then I'll get the response that you just gave.
I will see you as irresponsible. And Crystalline said, watch how I respond. I'm responding the way men are responding. They just won't say it. And that's irresponsible when a woman does that. And we lose respect for women who do that.
And then what happens is, that's your response you would give to me. And then I will respond with so now we're taking instead of focus on building intimacy through our conversation, now we are focused on, I don't want to say being right, but we're focused on trying to get the other person to see our perspective.
I'm only asking one question, and that's all I want an answer to. I don't care about anything else.
Right. So
this is called communication.
Right. So now you're looking at that. Now women tend to really get in their feelings and get emotional. So now I'm turned off. I don't want to have sex now. Right. And then I'm pretty sure you're probably turned off. Don't want to have sex now. So now you've shown yourself not to be a great lover, because earlier Crystalline wasn't on, and we were talking about what constitutes a man or woman being a great lover.
Crystalline has a pattern. Every time I say this is what we need from women, Crystalline said, well, men need to do that too. This is a pattern.
Okay. And
this has nothing to do with this conversation.
I understand that, but this can also be a teachable moment.
And that's exactly what this is.
But what I'm saying is, for what we're talking about, making it into a teachable moment for the topic of the discussion, which is how to be a great lover, and women being cooperative and learning. And what did I say? Learning to listening and executing. Because when you're sitting there with your man and he expects cooperation out of you, that is in all aspects. That is whether it's dealing with household affairs, whether it's dealing with his personal needs, and communication, like having a conversation. You have to be responsible within those areas. And that's what leads to a better lover, having great sex. Because when you lose focus of what the subject is about, what the conversation is about, what the meaning is about, when you lose focus and you're just sitting there and you're trying, No, I hear what you're saying, but you have to look at it from my perspective. No, I don't want to look at it from your perspective. I just want you to answer my question. When you're getting into that, the intimacy has been broken in that moment. You're not going to have sex. And and so what I get what you're trying to get Christian to understand, and that's what I'm trying to say. Like, get her from the beginning because she wasn't here in the beginning.
No, that's how a guy goes to another woman, and he may not go to the other woman for sex. He's going to the other woman because she actually listens to him and answers his questions, and that leads to that supports intimacy.
Yes, that supports intimacy, and I get it that
I my question was, how does a woman create intimacy? I didn't ask what men should do.
right.
How does a woman, as soon as you say what men should do too, that is now taking no responsibility for you can only answer the question for what does it take for women to do. She didn't come close to answering the question. She only did was what men should do too. And
I don't think
that is a communication that happens in a lot, and it's overdone, and men don't like it. Most men do not say anything because they think they don't have a right to say anything.
in all fairness, I don't think she was trying to answer the question. I think she was responding.
That is an irresponsible response. When you ask, what can a woman do to create intimacy? If you respond with, well, men need to create intimacy too, that is seen as irresponsible.
Yes, and it does not lead for further communication, because now it's like, wait a minute, now I didn't ask that question. That's not the question I asked. And then now it's like the woman is feeling like, wait a minute, why are you, now it's like, wait a minute, I have to defend what I'm saying. So now the intimacy is broken because now you both have taken your battle stances, and it's no longer about engagement with each other. Now you're at war with one another in that moment.
So how did you say women can create intimacy?
Being vulnerable.
And how does a woman be vulnerable?
She has to know herself. She has to know herself, know her body. Be open to communication.
So how does a woman learn her body? Because this is a huge dilemma. And here's the thing, that as a nation called the United States of America, it was founded with this Puritan culture, and we haven't thrown it out. We haven't got rid of that Puritan culture.
Usually you can know your body, but
there's shame surrounding sex and a woman really knowing her body. There's shame around that.
right. So either you're going to have conversations be able to have conversations with other women, namely your mother, or you can explore for yourself. Explore your own body. Know what pushes your buttons. Know what you like. There's nothing wrong with looking at yourself in the mirror and, exploring for yourself. And if you don't need a mirror to really explore for yourself, but there's even a shame with a woman masturbating and young girls masturbating and touching themselves when it's normal.
So, okay, so what about if a woman is with a man who's more experienced and the woman starts to feel things she hasn't felt before, or it's uncomfortable? How does a man get her beyond her discomfort if what he knows is a greater sense of pleasure on the other side of that discomfort? How are most women willing to be vulnerable enough to let that happen?
He would have to acknowledge that she's uncomfortable and not invalidate it and not judge her for being uncomfortable.
Okay.
And then talk her through it. Like, I understand it's not going to make you look any different in my eyes. That turns me on. I just want to see that. Can I see that with you? And, and touching her and getting her to relax and open up. And once she feels safe with you in that moment, once she feels like you're not going to judge her for something, she's going to be open to exploring it. Stop looking at the comments.
You leading me?
No, but I'm just, for the sake of this stream, I think it would be beneficial if you not look at the comments right now. Do you realize you're keeping me from dinner? Like 5 o'clock is around the corner, and I haven't eaten all day.
Yeah.
I should go get a banana, huh?
That's what I was talking about.
Why are you smelling like that though? Look at you.
I offered to feed you a banana. You didn't say anything. You wanted a drumstick.
No, you don't want to.
Turkey. You wanted a drumstick from a turkey.
No, you want. You're the one who put out the turkey leg.
Mm. That means you know what you do with turkeys? You stuff them.
Oh, do you? Well, then that would make me the turkey, then, right?
Shove a whole turkey leg in the turkey, and it's stuffed.
Wouldn't that be some type of incest perversion? Listen, I've never understood why people would put turkey dressing inside their turkey stuffing inside their turkey. That's just wrong.
Maybe it has sexual implications, and they just don't tell.
That is all kinds of wrong.
Turkeys.
Oh oh,
Put it in an oven till it's done.
oh my goodness. Listen, the way this stream is going, I might end up with something in the oven.
So, sex, men have a huge obligation when it comes to sex with women.
Yes.
We have to do what's called put her in the mood. It means we have to say and do the right things. Some women will subscribe to something called you have to read my love language. We have to make her feel wanted and sexy, and we have to tell her how great she looks and all these things, right? We have to be romantic. But it's confusing because women are screaming for equal opportunity, equal treatment. Like, how do we do it? This is confusing for men.
There's no equality in sex, basically just based off of biochemistry. You got men are biochemically, the desire for sex, the need for sex is there constantly, all the time. For women, I really do believe that if there was not a pressure on women to be sexual as they become, women would be fine having sex once a month around their ovulation cycle, at least just a few times a month around their ovulation cycle, because that's when our bodies tell us we want it without a man having to do anything. A man doesn't. That's why you'll hear a lot of men who say that their wife raped them. Next thing you know, she's pregnant. Or, you know, she got very amorous because next thing you know, she got pregnant. It's because there was no need for him to do anything. Around her ovulation cycle, a woman is she's already in the mood. Our bodies are not such that we're putting out progesterone every day. Progesterone, the hormone for progesterone that drives our sexual desire, only happens around the time we're ovulating. There are some women who you don't have to do as much to put in the mood. And then there are some women you have to do a lot for in order to get them in the mood.
So what do you mean I'm making it more women are making it more complex than it is? Women demand more when they're not ultimately into you. Okay, when they are, okay, they comply, they go with you. Okay. Okay. So what do you think of that?
Basically, that's what I was just saying. Like some women, you have to do more to put them in the mood, and some women you don't. And depending on how much she likes you, you really don't have to do that much. However, the desire for sex is still not there the same as the desire for a man. 10% of, maybe not even 10%, less than that, um, women have a abnormal sex drive to where she's constantly put in the mood. Like
Okay.
she's constantly wants sex. But for the majority of women, they have to be put in the mood.
So here's another aspect then. So if the majority of women do not normally experience a climax, and the majority of women do not know their bodies well, then the majority of women are depending on men to lead them to the mountaintop, so to speak. Right?
Yes. Yes.
And that means that a man is that what so then are there women who actually will pretend they know what they're doing as opposed to taking the man's lead? And if he says, hey, this is okay, we're going to go in this direction, and yes, you're going to have these sensations, and it may seem weird at first, but we're going to work through it. I mean, will a woman be vulnerable enough to let that happen?
She can. I can't speak for all women. It's just,
But if that's part of a woman being a great lover, then does she understand that that's her responsibility to be vulnerable? If the majority of women do not know how to get there, she's going to have to follow that man's lead.
I mean, that's going to be hard with today's modern women.
But
I mean,
you see the dilemma? You see the modern woman has created her own dilemma. It's a trap that she can't even get out of.
so, I mean, you talk about follow my, yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. They want the man, to them, it's not about them. They're not the problem. It's a whole. And, you know, you're the one who wants sex the most. You're the one who's going to enjoy it the most, get the best, most benefit from it. So you need to put me in the mood in order to get it. And if she's not having an orgasm or she's not having consistent orgasms, that's just the mindset she's going to take. And I really don't think that there's much that men can do to change that other than her falling in love with you. And like someone said, when a woman is really into you, that's when you're going to have the most sex from her. Outside of that, you're gonna be pulling teeth trying to get a woman to have sex with you, because she's just, her body's not, biochemically, she's not wired to want sex all every day. She's not. And I think men need to accept that. You guys are saying we're not the same, we're not equal, we're different. Biochemically, we are different. And just as much, and it would benefit men if they understood the biochemistry of women, the biology of women.
So if we just now take it completely within the context of how do you become a great lover, great sex is predicated on men. Like, it's mostly the man's responsibility to have great sex. If he's setting her up throughout the day, he needs to understand a woman's body. I mean, it for great sex to happen, a man has to be comfortable having that responsibility. Right? So as men, we need to understand that, and I'm going to say it this way: you kind of, as a man, you kind of have to train a woman to be a good lover.
And men need to understand that just because a woman is willing to have sex with you, that doesn't mean her body is signaling that. Women will have sex because we understand that men want sex. And if we like a guy and we want the guy, we'll have sex with them. She could, and if depending on how open she is, yeah, she can have an orgasm or she'll fake an orgasm. But you, just because you've had sex with a lot of women and they all seem to enjoy what you do, does not mean that a woman's biochemistry and biology doesn't mean that does not say that a woman's the way a woman's biology and biochemistry is set up, that her sex drive does not peak until she's ovulating.
Well, why do you think women want sex more in their mid-30s than in their 20s?
Because our bodies are producing more estrogen and
In your
progesterone.
In your 30s, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Hormone levels increase in your 30s.
Yeah, I've asked a lot of guys who were married since their 20s, and they said their wife and now they're both in their like 50s, and they all say the wife had a greater sex drive in their 30s than in her 20s.
Yeah, a lot of women have a lot more fun. That's why I know a lot of men who are in their 20s were preferring women in their 30s because their sexual drive was on par with one another.
Okay. So if we kind of sum this up, there's some women who may be skilled, right? They may have, if she has the benefit of a what you would call a God-given body that turns a man on, and if she has some skills, that's beneficial. But ultimately, for a couple to be two great lovers, the man has to be willing to take the responsibility to properly train her to get there, and she's going to have to be vulnerable. So he's going to have to actually create an environment where she feels vulnerable and cooperative, no matter what. The man has to create that. And it helps if he knows his way around a woman's body, because he may take her to a place that is not normal for her, and he's got to create an environment where she's comfortable enough to let something happen that she hasn't let happen before.
Yeah, in a nutshell.
So is that sound like a man who's a great lover? What I'm laying out?
Yes, and that's exactly what women want.
So that means she's not leading him in the bedroom or out of the bedroom.
Say it again.
She's not leading him in or out of the bedroom.
No, a man who is a great lover is not one who is being led.
But lots of women lead men quietly.
But when it comes to sex, a woman wants to be dominated. And even if it's not in the most obvious way, but she still wants to be dominated.
So that dominated includes words like consume her and possess her.
Well, that's not gonna work for every woman, but the fact that he
doesn't have to be forceful.
But even him taking the lead on things, like if she's uncomfortable, right? Him setting the mood. If she's uncomfortable with something, and him engaging her and speaking to her and getting her to understand that it's normal and he's not going to judge her on it. That's him leading her.
What did Letitia just say? Is that he's saying?
He said that I was wrong in saying that women, he said women have more testosterone in their 30s, which increases their sex drive.
You said progesterone.
Progesterone, right.
That's different than estrogen.
Right.
So women may have more estrogen in their teens and 20s, but it's progesterone that supports the secretion, the lubrication of the vagina, correct?
Correct.
So that's why they would be, and ovulation is going to be the same, whether she's 18 or 25 or 35.
Not necessarily. Ovulation can, your ovulation can actually change. That's why I believe the likelihood of you having multiples is higher in your 30s, in your early 30s, than it is in your 20s.
What, climax?
No.
Multiple what? Oh, multiple
babies. Because you'll probably, and that's why a lot of more women are diagnosed with PCOS in their 30s.
So, Nelly Nell, that's actually what we're getting at. So the woman is into a guy that she knows she can't lead and control. As much as women may talk that they want equal, or they attempt to quietly lead men, a woman's going to be more into a guy she knows she cannot control, in or out of bed.
Right. Unless she is manipulative and narcissist and she's crazy, she's going to get off on being able to control him. But majority of women want men to be in control. However, a lot of women, the way that women have been taught over the last few decades was that you need to teach a man basically how to lead you.
Like that woman in the video that I posted, where she taught him how to lead her.
But I think if men just but if it's like but it's like it's manipulation, right? Like, I'm going to teach you how to lead me so that I can feel fulfilled, but you're not feeling fulfilled. You're just going along with it. So it's like Will Smith and Will and Jada Smith, right? Nice guy, really in love with his wife. And he did all the things he thought he could possibly do to make her happy. But she was never fulfilled. Why was she never fulfilled? Because she felt like she needed to tell him and show him how she needed to be fulfilled.
And still she wasn't fulfilled.
She wasn't fulfilled. That's how she ended up in an entanglement.
Exactly.
Because in the end, Will Smith is I won't say nice guy. Will Smith is a really good guy. Like, I think he's too good for her. But Will Smith operates in feminine energy.
In the end, women don't know what they want. And if a man is willing to take a stand and guide the woman and provide leadership, then she will be fulfilled.
Right. There you go. So I think if he stood up, untucked his balls and put his foot on her neck and said, "Look, Jada, F all that. You either going to be here, woman, or you can get to stepping." Like the Fresh Prince says, he would have ended up in an entanglement. And
Nelly Nell understands that. Doesn't matter how much a woman is taught, an alpha male will always stand his ground. A woman can only attempt to manipulate. It's always up to the man to keep control. That is how a woman will find fulfillment. And that's why when I was asking, if a man says, "I need you to take care of this project and I need you to handle it, I need it done by these times," and they are going to start accomplishing things together, and he's going to provide guidance. If she may see a better way to do it, that's great. If not, just follow instructions. And you make a big deal out of following instructions for women.
Yeah, women do make a big deal out of following instructions. You can't tell me to do that, or they'll do it, and then in the end they'll start resenting you because it's like, "Oh, I lost a piece of myself. I'm always focused on him and I'm not focused on me." The focus is always on him, but it's not on.
That's the feminist whispering in their ears that you're going to lose yourself. Well, women have no problem being that way for a female friend and cooperating. It's just that they've been told if you do that with a man, you're going to lose yourself. You lose your last name. He's going to control your life and dominate you. Yet, if he doesn't control and dominate you in the bedroom, he's not a man. So
Okay.
women are like have these multiple personality disorders going on.
Okay, but we can't. There are some relationships where the focus is where the men feel like all the bills are paid and that's it. They don't have to put any more into that.
Right.
And wants all of this, like all the focus is on him and taking care of his needs and his wants and his desires, and he's not taking care of his wife. Yeah, the bills are paid, but he's not taking care of his wife. The sex is whack. So that does happen.
Oh, no question. No question. And they go see a guy, Samuel.
Yeah, they go hook up with Samuel in the dressing room, pull down his pants, break his zipper. That's what he said. He said women be breaking his zippers. I'm like, Samuel, where you be getting these rough women from? Where you going?
Millie Nell said their marriage was open. Will and Smith their marriage was open from the start. And PJ said that Letitia knows Ted is right about multiple personality disorder.
I don't recall saying you were wrong about it.
Good. Well, see, and this is PJ understands. There's a caveman that needs to be in a relationship with a woman as well. She will respect that more than the guy who lays down like a mat and thinks that, well, I'm letting my woman have her way and she's going to resent you. She can be with a woman if she wants that.
I think, and you know what? I think that approach will work with any woman. I don't care if she's a feminist. I don't care if she's a modern woman. That approach will work. It will not work with a lesbian, but it will work with a modern woman.
Oh, it'll work with a lesbian too. It'll just freak her out. That's all.
Okay, but would it really work? Is that really working? Don't you? Yeah. Why would you do that?
Huh?
Why would you do that? You could have left the banner up there. Oh, y'all are bad. One of these days, I'm going to appear in a full sack. Listen, so Ted complained about my last outfit. He did not like me wearing something that I was covered up in, you guys. So here I am. So I don't want to hear anyone talking about I'm dressing this way on purpose. No, this is Ted's requirement for Netflix and chill.
Me, man.
Even today, I was like, I don't really want to get on camera. I don't want to get on video because I'm not feeling well. And he was like, no, I want you on video. I'm like, all right, I need 10 minutes. So even in this program, see how you lead a woman? You don't tell her you don't let her tell you what she want to do. You put your foot on her neck and you say, woman, do what I told you to do.
Look how happy she is smiling. You all hear this? Look at that.
No, don't listen. No, don't.
You see that?
We don't want you all covered up. Oh my goodness. Y'all, you all are shameless is what you are. Just shameless. Because I think Ted should sit here with no shirt on. I think you'll get a broader female audience if you sit there with no shirt on.
No, they'll leave like Crystalline did because I spanked her.
Yeah, you did spank her, and this is not the time to do it. But
I bet she inboxed me on Facebook.
No,
and probably unfriended me.
No, I don't think so. I think she's gonna. I can see that she was upset, and I think she was hurt by the way you approached her because she's here. See, she tell him, Christian Lynn, he's not running you off. Yes, he's not. Yes, and she said, yes, Christian Lynn, yes. You tell. You tell him. But Christian Lynn, I just want to tell you, it's not just you. This is why Richard no longer calls it to blog talk on Sunday. Because Because Ted will spank. Ted will, he does it to me a lot. Wait, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say he. That's gonna give a different picture.
What, you're gonna have a picture of me spanking you?
Yes. Why you put your glasses on?
So what, I have to put you and Crystalline side by side and spank both of you at the same time?
Hey, does that float your boat? You won't put on a bunny suit, but you like spanking, huh? Oh my goodness. Okay, that was well, Christian, look forward to his response because he loves engaging in conversation.
So look, guys. Hey,
hold on. Christian, it's not just about listening, but you can ask questions but stay on topic. That's all. Like when you did a deflection, you deflected, and that's where he was. That was the problem because a lot of men feel as if their voices aren't being heard, and women for decades have always had men to listen to and beat up on. We've had no, you really weren't on topic. And that's the issue because you're not listening. I'm saying you weren't on topic. You deflected to men and women need to be vulnerable. And the question was asked of me how women can be intimate, right? And I said women need to be vulnerable. Women need to be open, learn themselves. And you deflected to both men and women when the conversation wasn't about men and women. So I get that you thought you heard something and then you wanted to respond to what you heard, but the conversation, I said women need to be vulnerable, and you immediately went to men and women when the topic was just women.
And people think just because they had that thought in their head that they have to get it out. Like that's ineffective communication.
So it's not just about you listening. We do want the listeners to engage, but I just think that for this stream, for this YouTube channel, it is about women listening and understanding, getting an understanding of what men are saying. Because for decades, men had to sit back idly and just listen to women complain, vent, berate, invalidate,
and tell men what it meant to be a man.
Exactly. And now men have an opportunity to voice the opposite. They're returning fire. They don't want to hear women do the whataboutism. And that's all he was trying to tell you. He wasn't trying to hurt your feelings. He wasn't trying to signal you out. He was just trying to let you know that what you did was inappropriate for the discussion and for the channel. So I hope you don't take it to heart. I hope you sit back, reflect on it, and just know that it's nothing personal.
So, and instead of defending or justifying why you did it, just listen and hear what she said. That's it.
Okay.
You don't have to explain anything. That's what hurts relationships. Instead of the man saying, "Hey, here's what I want," and you say, "Yeah, but I think it's like, just can we have this conversation?" And so that the next time you understand what's going on. And guys, if you can understand that that's really your role in a relationship, according to what I'm hearing, it's your job to lead in and out of the bedroom, and definitely,
Now listen, I'm sitting here and you're sitting back, and I'm like, why don't you just take the jacket off? Like I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, so I think the other women would enjoy what they're want to enjoy.
So from time to time, if you gently stroke your woman's nipples, it's going to secrete oxytocin. She's going to feel close to you and more vulnerable, and you'll have great sex from that. And like Letitia said, sometimes you have to cup that butt sometimes. You cup that ass.
That's what you want to do, is cup the butt, pat the butt, and then stroke the nipple from time to time.
See, and that's setting her up even before you get home. Sometimes you might do a little sneak, do it here and there. She'll like it. Surprise here and there. She'll like it. And she might complain about it in the beginning, but let me tell you, she'll get used to it over time.
Why you coming off so cocky while you saying that?
She'll get used to it. Yeah, she'll get over it and she'll love it. Okay. So yeah, it's a heck of a job, PJ. It is.
Somebody's got to do it. Why not man?
Right, exactly. And we're built for it. We're built. We have the testosterone and some other biochemicals that allow us to do it. If you have to do a few sit-ups every day to strengthen that midsection so that when she does ask for that jackhammer, damn it, you can pull it out just like putting a key in a Bugatti, starting it up, and the power's there. Just know your woman.
There you go. Know your woman.
Sometimes you have to slide it all the way down her throat and she'll be happy.
I have no words for that.
Well, if you slid it all down your throat, you won't have any words for it. You're right. That's correct. Look at that. Let's say do that again.
Whatever. Some women would like that. I have no words.
Sometimes you have to take it like that, guys. Like taking it up for a dunk. Dunk it right in there, man.
Lord, you jumping off. Sound like you jumping off a dresser somewhere.
That's a story for another time.
Get into your wild days, huh? I can imagine you in your 20s. Ooh-wee. Your 20s and your 30s. Mm-hmm. No. Those are stories. And look at you, you're reminiscing. Look at your face. You think you had a flashback, huh?
No. So, what are your final thoughts on this topic?
My final thoughts are
ride this one right out.
Ride it right out, huh?
Ride it out.
You know what? I'm gonna let you take the lead.
No, and that's what I'm doing. I'm asking your final words on this topic.
Final words, men, learn your woman. Just learn your woman. Communicate. Communication. Learn your woman. Communicate. Don't judge. Allow her to be vulnerable and open. And if she needs help exploring her body, then help her. You know, that makes for some fun, sexy time, is the both of you exploring and getting her to open up. Next thing you know, you're gonna be painting the walls with all that nasty, disgusting squirting y'all seem to like so much.
So take the lead on learning her body and lead her to the mountaintop.
Yes.
I will get to the mountaintop. I may not get there with you, but I will.
Next time she's gonna be free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, I'm free at last.
That's a really good way. That's a really good way to put that, right? And I think there are a lot of women waiting to be freed, and vulnerability is a key for women. I think that's a message that has to be repeated to women over and over, and they've been taught to fear vulnerability. I mean, if you're afraid of that guy, then why are you with him?
Correct.
So vulnerability is a key. But for men, you cannot be afraid to be dominant. And dominant doesn't mean abusive. I mean, if you're with a woman and you have to be abusive, you probably don't want to be in that, because someone's going to call 911. You don't want that. But don't be afraid to stand your ground, put your demands, and
foot on her neck. See, I told you that.
Yeah, you put your foot on her neck and say the way things are going to be. She'll get with it. She may kick and scream and say, this is not fair, but somehow she'll work it out. Or
she may leave. That's a risk. But I mean, you want things to be a certain way. And if she's not on the program, she can't get on code, can't get with the program, set her free. Make sure you have a prenup in place before you do, though.
You heard that from a woman. So hey guys, I always love these conversations. My intent is to do YouTube and chill every Friday, and we will focus primarily on sex when we do YouTube and chill. Sunday, check me out. I'm going to have Dennis Sperling. Many of you guys know who he is. We're going to be talking about a little bit of business, a little sex, a little women, you know, how things work. And when I talk here about, you know, caveman, you know, being a man, that translates for women in any country, no matter where you are. And I think especially so here in the US, for guys in the US, men have been talked out of manhood. And if you want your woman to be turned on for you and to do what you want, it's going to be up to men to get back to that kind of manhood that women are missing. And some women are saying and some are not. What part of getting a woman sexually aroused by you is for her to be turned on by your manhood. Most women can't escape that as a turn on. So being a caveman, whatever you have to be, me man, you woman. Those are my final words. Me man, you woman. I own you. I possess you.
You didn't pay a dowry. You own nothing.
Hey guys, this one will stay on YouTube. Like it, share it. Check me out on Patreon. Thanks for the super chats. And I will see you guys on Sunday at 7, and we'll have another great show. And until then, guys, have a great evening. Take care. Have a great weekend. Goodbye. And thank you, Letitia. Thank you for being so open and honest here. And Crystalline, thank you very much for being in here. And
all right, back, she got you together real quick now.
and being able to stick with me, because I will spank you. Goodbye.
Bye.